And welcome once again to Lancs TV. Here we are at Emirates at Old Trafford for the second of our double header today. Earlier on, it was the Thunder that beat the Lightning, but this time round, most of you watching will be very much hoping for a Lightning victory. It is the Lancashire Lightning against the Northamptonshire Steelbacks in this, the North Group of the Vitality Blast T20 competition, a competition that so far, Lancs lead the North Group in. So much to look forward to in terms of the opposition as well. Just in third spot in this group, it will be a high-powered, exciting evening of T20 cricket. High-powered and exciting is exactly what I'd use to describe one of my guests. Warren Hegg's also here. Welcome to Warren Hegg, and alongside him, Saqib Mahmood. It's lovely to see you, Saqib. We'll have a little chat a little bit later about how you're doing, but first of all, give us a sense about how that dressing room is feeling, because T20 cricket so far this season has been very successful.
Look, I think they'll be buzzing. They always are playing here at Emirates Old Trafford. We've got a great record here. Matt Parkinson will be a big miss, but I'm sure whoever comes in for him will fill those shoes. Yeah,
I know. I appreciate you spent a lot of time with England, with Matt Parkinson alongside, but as you went off yesterday in a bit of a hurry, did you have a word of wisdom for him now that he's appearing for England?
Well, I was thinking how he'd make his way down there, so I just sent him a text in case he was busy, but I just said, look, good luck. And look, I'm happy for Matt. We've sort of toured England a lot together now, and even when I made my debut in the Caribbean, part of me was a little gutted that he hadn't got his goal, but yeah, look, great to see him get his goal finally.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see how the team manages without Matt. I'm sure fine, because there are 10 other players who've been so successful so far. What's been the key, do you think, to Lancashire doing so well? Is it just simply bat first and put up a big total? Because that's what the stats tell us.
No, you have a look down our side here, and it's got players that are full of quality in batting, bowling, fielding, the dynamic, the fit, and they stretch sides out right the way. I mean, it's great that Saki's made his debut for England. Parky's making his debut for England now. It's not too good for Lancashire. We're missing our great players, but you know what? We've got strength in depth. I'm looking for a great performance tonight.
Yeah, and we'll talk to one of those players who is going off for England for the ODI squad a little bit later on in Luke Wood in just a moment. But thank you to you guys for the moment, because we will be back a little bit later. But now it's time for the toss.
Thank you, Jen. A few minutes.
You ready for toss? So ready for toss, and then just after we'll just have quick interview with both of you, just for the right trip. So we are. Are we ready? Ready? Lisa, we ready? Yeah, good. Ready whenever you're ready. Heads. Heads? Yes. Heads. Well, on the back. Well, on the head. Thank you very much. Cheers. Thank you. Cheers. You going straight in?
So as you can see from the hubbub of the middle, it is Josh Cobb and Northamptonshire Steelbacks who have won the toss. Josh, what are you going to do?
We're going to have a bat.
I can't imagine why. You hear everybody else winning the toss here and having a bat. Tell us about this deck and what you think might be a good total.
It's obviously a used wicket, so we're going to look to get runs on the board, and we've played an extra spinner, so hopefully that comes into the game later on.
Tried and tested, certainly in your last game, which was a very successful victory and a big win as well. You've started this competition really well.
Yeah, we're just picking up some momentum at the minute, so you know we're looking to continue that. But we come here up against a very strong side as well, so it's a good test.
Always helps when your opening batsman gets 100 off 60 odd.
It always helps, yeah. He's been on fine form, but unfortunately he's not with us tonight.
All right, in that case, that leads me on nicely to say, what's your team?
Yeah, well, we're run changed apart from Chris Lynn's obviously missing out, and Alex Russell's coming in.
We appreciate your time and go well today. Thank you very much indeed. That's Josh Cobb, and here comes Dane. So everything, rip up the whole rule book because you're going to be chasing today.
Yeah, I mean, obviously we would like to bat as well on this used wicket and stuff, but saying that, obviously there's still lots of runs in it. We know that from the game the other day was there's plenty, and hopefully we can emulate the girls and you know, chase down a score today.
Yeah, and given that you know, the toss of the coin is not necessarily something you can trust every time, it'd be good for you to be able to experience the chase here at least.
Yeah, they say it's 50-50, so
apparently
anything could happen, we know, but it's a good challenge for us as well now. We've batted most of the games, but we're looking forward to hopefully restricting them, and then, like I said, knocking them off with a different challenge for us today.
Suitable that you mentioned the word 50, because it is your 50th game as captain, so congratulations on that. It's the kind of thing that you ask somebody about and they say, I have absolutely no idea, you've just told me, I didn't think for a moment about it, but if I did just tell you, your views on that?
Yeah, I mean, it's obviously an honour. Just to captain one game here has been fantastic, you know, to to be the part of the side has been great. But yeah, I'm very blessed and honoured to do that. So yeah, thank you for that.
Well, don't thank me. I didn't do any of them. You did them all. And just a word on Matt Parkinson not being here, obviously for good reasons for him personally. How are you going to manage the team in his absence?
Yeah, we got Luke Wells coming in, who's been fantastic for us as well last year. This will be his first game this tournament. It'd be great for him to get in and play, and obviously we know what he can do with the ball and with the bat, so it's great for him. And then obviously on Parky, it's just fantastic for him to get in. Well deserved, and it's been a long time coming, and hopefully he does well, and he does exactly what he does for me and for us as a team. He does up there for the England boys.
Well, we wish you well. Thank you very much indeed. That's Dave Villas, and it is the Northamptonshire Steelbacks who have won the toss. They're going to be batting first, as tends to be the way at Emirates at Old Trafford. Now, it is, of course, a very special day if you are a British person and have been enjoying trestle tables and street parties down your road. Well, we've got one here, and Carla's been to see it.
I am here outside Emirates Old Trafford. I'm in the fan zone and we are celebrating the Jubilee. We've got our own little street party going on down here with our huge table, all nicely decorated with those Union Jacks. And we'll see who we can get talking to. We've got some ice cream down here. How are you enjoying it in the sunshine? All good? Enjoying yourself?
Right, yeah.
Yeah?
Very nice, very warm.
Yeah, the sun's come out. It's absolutely brilliant.
Go, I know.
Brilliant. We're absolutely loving it here. Let's see who else. Are you enjoying your hot dog? Yeah? Is it really nice, really tasty? Having a good day? Yeah? Oh, brilliant. I'll leave you be, because I know how important food is. Most important time of the day, isn't it? Yeah. We'll see. And you guys, what have we got here? Is that a nice little kebab? You having a wrap?
Yes.
Is that from everything else that's in the fan zone? There's a lot of choice, isn't there? Did you have difficulty picking what you wanted to have for your tea?
We did, but we both decided we wanted wraps.
Wraps. Can't go wrong with wraps. What a better way to celebrate the Jubilee than with a wrap. I love it. And we've got more. See what else. Hello. You look like you're definitely celebrating. You're holding. Are they both for you, or you're holding for drinks?
One's for somebody else. No, I'm grabbing on because of the wind.
It is. Don't be deceived with this weather. It is quite cold when that wind blows. But you're having a good day. Kind of, what made you decide to come here to celebrate the Jubilee and your bank holiday here today?
We came to see the cricket, obviously, and it's a bank holiday, so we've got the day off, and it's a fantastic stadium, fantastic atmosphere, lots to eat, lots to drink, and hopefully see some great cricket.
Yeah, perfect mix for a good day out, isn't it? Brilliant, thank you very much. We'll see, we've got some more cricketers. You, young man, you look the part. No, do you know what you all look the part. We've got all this cricket team here. How are you spending today here at the Old Trafford? Are you enjoying yourself?
Yeah, we're going to go on field with the players.
So you're being our guard of honour in a bit?
Yeah.
Oh, brilliant. So we'll be watching out for you guys. What cricket club are you from?
Little Lever.
Perfect. So, yeah, and I'm sure in a few years you'll all be playing for Lancashire, some of you. Yeah? Yes, I love that confidence. Absolutely brilliant. And down here we've got more families. I love your hair bows. Aren't they pretty? Gone a bit shy. But kind of what is it that's made you bring all the sort of family and the kids here today? Oh, we'll ask. Well, I've been told
I bought tickets, and this little man did as well.
Oh, so is it? Do you decide to come here today?
It's his first cricket match.
Oh,
Jesus!
After my job. I don't know. You having a good day?
Say hello. Say hi. Say hiya.
Hello.
Waving.
You're right. Give me a wave.
Waving for the camera.
Oh, brilliant. So it's fun for all the family here today. And yeah, the sun's out, there's drinks flowing, we've got some good food, and we're definitely celebrating the Jubilee with our little street party in style.
Luke Wood, who is alongside me, freshly called up to the England one-day squad for matches against the Netherlands to come later, but we'll talk about that in a moment, Luke, because we want to bring in your expertise and your experience of what has been a very successful campaign so far in the T20 Blast. You guys have started like a house on fire, and if it wasn't for a pesky little tie with Yorkshire, it would be all wins all the way. So how do you feel about how things have gone so far?
Yeah, I don't think we could ask much more sort of going into the comp, especially off the back of like that defeat to Essex. Obviously sort of saps momentum a bit in the Championship, but we've started really well. The team's played well as a whole. Everyone's sort of put in match-winning performances, and yeah, I don't think we could ask much more.
And I think the way that things have certainly worked out here, and that Dane always wins the toss and bats first, and you guys get to strangle the opposition in terms of their chase. As an opening bowler, or sometimes not opening bowler, depending on what you might have to do on any given day, How is that for you guys? Because I know the batsmen love going first on this deck and hitting as many sixes and fours as they want, but you kind of always know that the pressure is on you to try and defend that total.
Yeah, I mean, obviously we predominantly look to bat here first, but at the end of the day, it's look at the draw of the toss, 50-50. We've won a lot so far, but we just prepare ourselves whether we win or lose, whether we're bowling first or batting first. So it's gone our way so far in terms of the toss, and we've been pretty strong at home, like you've seen. So yeah, we'll just keep doing that, keep doing our things, and it's like I said, it doesn't matter too much whether we bat or bowl first.
Yeah, 10 unbeaten here, which is extending a club record in T20 cricket. Do you like in T20 cricket to have the ball first over? Do you mind having to wait and having a pesky slow left armer or an off spinner on first up?
I mean, I always prefer to bowl the first over. I've done it a lot throughout my career, so it's something I'm obviously comfortable with. But I know that any over the power play is going to be tough. They all have their own challenges, so I'm just kind of ready for whenever Dane chucks me the ball, and obviously different challenges come in different games. So obviously a lot with the matchups nowadays, it's often can be tailored around specific batsmen. So it differs, like you say, game to game, but we're all ready for what comes.
Yeah, and versatility is the real key, and I wonder if that's part of why you've been called up to the England side, because at the beginning, at the death, having to restrict in the middle overs as well, you're capable of doing all of that. How did it come about, and what did you feel like when you got that call?
I mean, it was a bit out of the blue. It was very unexpected. Just in the car on the way down to the Notts game, and +61 number, so I thought it was Tim David, because we were meant to meet him for food, so didn't start off great. Obviously I thought it was Tim, so but no, it was obviously a great phone call to have, and it's just nice for the recognition, and to sort of, obviously you know how tough it is to get into that white ball team. So yeah, it's nice to be part of the squad, and I'm looking forward to joining that up later in the month. But for now, obviously it's about Lancashire in here.
Absolutely, and I was going to say, as part of the journey, I would imagine that you would have hoped to have been on once you moved here from a big county. You came to Lancashire, you made the move, and it wasn't, you know, difficult to get recognition at Trent Bridge, but I wonder if you've enjoyed the fact that you are at a very, very prominent place and people tend to watch you.
Yeah, obviously Lancashire's up there with, if not, well, one of the biggest clubs, if not the biggest club. So it was a great move for me then a few years ago, and I've sort of not looked back since. It's worked out however I wanted to. Got a key part in all the sides here, and it's really set me up for sort of extending and getting further in my career. So obviously the staff have been great and whatnot, and it's really helped push me forward.
And you have some very familiar faces in that setup as well. Luke, we wish you well against the Netherlands, and we wish you well today as well. Luke, thank you very much indeed.
Thanks very much, thank you.
So as the sun descends upon us here at Emirates Old Trafford, we've got the confirmed team news in. As you heard from the captains at the toss, just either team making just the one change. So for the visitors, Northamptonshire Steelbacks, it's Ben Curran, Alex Russell, who's in for the Australian Chris Lynn at the top of the order, James Neesham, Josh Cobb, the captain, Rob Keogh, Saif Zaib, Lewis McManus, Tom Taylor, Graham White, Ben Sanderson, and Freddie Heldreich. And then for the Lancashire Lightning, with one change as well, Phil Salt, Keaton Jennings, Liam Livingston, Tim David, Dane Villas, the captain, Stephen Croft, Luke Wells, who's in for Matt Parkinson playing for England today, of course, Danny Lamb, Luke Wood, Tom Hartley, and Richard Gleeson.
Just the way you like it. So good, so fresh.
Now, doubtless on one of the two team sheets, either at Lords for England or indeed here for the Lightning, Saqib Mahmood would have been on them. If couldn't have been on both, but one of them at least, if it wasn't for your stress fracture of the back. So you can give us an injury report for us live now, Saki. How are you?
I'm all right now. Obviously gutted when I found out that I was missing pretty much all the season. So, you know, with stress fractures and with bone injuries, it's just about letting them heal. And for the next sort of 8 to 12 weeks, that will be the case. Just not do a great deal, maybe spend a bit of time behind the mic and let it heal.
I wonder what the word rest to an elite 25-year-old cricketer means, because it's probably not a nice word.
Yeah, I mean, I've been told the most I can do is just walking at the moment. So, yeah, I played a hell of a lot of Call of Duty, but when the sun's out like this, you want to get out and about. But yeah, I've got to keep as much activity as minimal as possible.
Pass that to Warren Hegg, who I'm going to now explain what Call of Duty is. You know full well.
Listen, I know what Call of Duty is.
Ever had a stress fracture of the back, or is it just golfing injuries?
No, I've had a stress fracture of other places, but never of the back.
You feel for him, because given that he made his debut for England in the Caribbean and then a real opportunity to break through and stay in the team this summer as well.
No, Saki's done great. You know, he's come into the Lancashire team and he's gone from strength to strength in red ball cricket, white ball cricket, and to have this kind of injury now so young in his career, he's a real. I'm gutted for the lad himself. He should be out there playing in all forms of cricket, but he'll come back stronger, and it's an experience that he will get better. Got great medical people here at Emirates Old Trafford, Lancashire Cricket. So, you know, we'll see Saki sooner or later.
I might be misremembering this, but didn't Jimmy have a stress fracture of the back way earlier in his career? So maybe it's a good sign.
I think he might have done. Yeah, look what he's done. So if
600 odd Test wickets later, he'll be absolutely fine. But it's a real sense of what the depth and the strength of that depth is here at Lancashire. That Saki can take time out and sit on that dugout wearing his sunglasses and his shacket and not be too worried about the strength of the quality of the players that are playing instead of him.
You know, we've just seen the team on the big screen, haven't we? And you look down that lineup, 11 players, and there's 11 serious cricketers there. You've got your imports, your Tim David come in, he's strong, he's started really, really well, hasn't he, for us? Hits the ball to all parts, he's athletic, and he's great in the field. You've got Salty up top, and then Wellesley's coming in now to replace Parky, who's gone to Lords, so good replacement.
And Saqib, that you've got a sense, and you've given it to us about how the confidence is in the dressing room at the moment. But I think what's particularly important at the moment is that Lancashire are able to be consistent in a form of cricket which is very difficult to be consistent in. I appreciate a lot of that this season has been bat first, get the amount of runs that's necessary. But I think the versatility that we asked Dane about at the toss is going to be proven today. And if they do so, they'll have even more confidence in being more consistent for the rest of the North Group. Yeah,
absolutely. And like I said earlier, we play great cricket here now. One thing all the sides will tend to do when they win the toss here is bat first. We're obviously bowling first today and chasing, but just shows the addition of Luke Wells, who can obviously cover both sides with the bat and the ball. It might just give us a little bit of that second innings. If we need someone lower down, he can obviously score some valuable runs. So, yeah, it might not be the worst.
Yeah, we spoke to Luke a minute ago about what it's like when you bat first and then you're the opening bowler attempting to stop a good start to the chase. Different skills. At the moment, you don't know what a good score is, and so if you can put the pressure on the batsman straight away, then you're in a really good position.
Yeah, absolutely. And look, we know how to defend here, but that should also help us chase. Old Trafford is one of those grounds. The best time to bat is against that new ball, so we know we've got to get in front of the ball, in front of the game in the first 6 overs. So, you know, you'll see the opening batters, I'm sure, when they're chasing second innings, they'll go hard against the new ball, and you want to get in front of the game then. So, you know, fielding sides might have to take risks of bringing extra men up to, you know, to allow them to create some pressure. So I think that will be key. Obviously, first innings, try and be as defensive as possible, and then really make use of that power play second innings.
Yeah, and the final point to make is just simply that they will try and put pressure on an opening bowler as well. So how do you deal with being carted around hither and thither and trying to make sure that you don't kind of second guess yourself thereafter and try and reset yourself as quickly as possible?
I think the earlier in your career you can accept that you will go around the park, the better, because it happens to the best of us, and it's just a case of, you know, when you're bowling second, you get to see what the conditions are like, but when you're doing that first, you've got to adapt quickly. And they've played a game on this wicket before. They know how it will play. So you'd like to think we've got the upper hand from that point of view. But look, I think it's also having that attacking mindset as a bowler, especially when you've got a new ball in your hand, because things can happen very quickly. A couple of wickets in the power play and it'll hold them back for a while. So I think it's still having that attacking mindset early doors, because, yeah, like I said, things can change very quickly.
It's going to be a fascinating contest because the Steelbacks appreciate without Chris Lynn got 227 for 1 in 20 overs the other night. So if Lancashire can restrict them a little bit more than that, it's going to be a fantastic chase. We'll see you again in a moment. Saqib, to Warren, thank you very much indeed. It's been great to have your company today. Let's head out to see where Carla is and all the frivolity of Emirates Old Trafford.
Each match is played by 2 teams of 11 players. Some are batters, some are bowlers, and there's 1 wicket-keeper. Both teams have a chance to bat and bowl. Look out for the coin toss. That's how they decide which team bats or bowls first. Each team has 20 overs to score as many runs as possible. The team with the most runs wins the game. 1 over is made up of 6 good deliveries from the bowler. To score runs, batters hit the ball and run between the stumps. If the ball reaches the boundary, it's 4 runs. And if it gets there without bouncing, that's a 6. While the batting team are scoring runs, the bowling team are trying to stop them and get the batters out by taking wickets. A few ways batters can be out are bowled, caught, run out, stumped, and LBW. Watch out for signals from the umpires, 4s, 6s, wickets, and these when a bad delivery has been bowled. Bad deliveries add runs to the batting team's score, and the bowler must bowl an extra ball. If you see the umpire doing this, the next ball is a free hit, and the batter cannot be out, bowled, caught, LBW, or stumped. And those are all the basics you need to know to get behind your team in this year's Vitality Blast competition.
The stands, they are filling up and there is an amazing atmosphere in the crowd. We're going to see how excited people are. I'm going to be a little bit rude and interrupt, shall we say. Excuse me guys, can I ask, where have you come from today to get here?
Droylsden in Manchester.
Oh, so yeah, only a little bit down the road. Did you get the tram?
No, bus.
Ooh, nice. So you're all quite big cricket fans. Oh, cricket fan. Oh, I was gonna say we've got a Barmy Army hoodie on. Which, don't forget, England are here against South Africa very soon, so you can get your tickets online now. So yeah, how excited are you for the game? What's your predictions?
Lancashire is going to win, not a problem at all. Livingston is going to be the star of the show. He's going to hit the ball over the stand. He's going to probably take about 4 wickets. Yeah? Fantastic, can't wait.
There you go, Livingston, 4 wickets. You've heard it here first. And earlier on we had the Thunder win as well. So we're going to hear a little bit more about them now and bring the Thunder.
Very nice to be back. My body's feeling it a little bit. We've had 4 weeks off, so yeah, just getting back to like the grind of county cricket again. But no, it's really good to see all the girls and seeing the winter that they've had as well. Hearing about Dubai, gutted I missed that one. But yeah, it's really nice to be back. Looking forward to getting going on Saturday.
Got a really exciting group of cricketers this year who've made a lot of progress over the winter, and I'm quietly confident that we'll have a really good season. And yeah, I'm just really looking forward to some really big performances from the girls.
I think I saw a big difference this time last year from the first professional winter that they had, and they've just added to that and seem to have gone from strength to strength, and they put in some amazing performances in the county cup that's just come away with a trophy. So it's a great start to the season. They all seem full of confidence, which is a brilliant place to be starting going into the Charlotte Edwards Cup. We've got a big trip down to Hove to sort out first. But no, they're a tough team. They had a real successful team last year. They beat us up here at Sale in the Rachel Hayhoe Flint. So I think first and foremost we want to get one back on them. It'll be a tough game, but we're looking forward to the challenge. It's excited to get going.
They are a tough side, and they're a very good side, and they've been together for a long time. So from that perspective, they're a pretty solid unit with bat, with ball, and in the field. So they perform really, really well. And we didn't really hit our straps with the bat. Had a decent power play, but after that we didn't bat the way we wanted to bat. And also, probably as a unit, didn't bowl the way we wanted to bowl, and his fielding was slightly off. So, yeah, I mean, the key to defeats is bouncing back in it as soon as you possibly can, and we talk a lot about taking the learning and moving on, and as long as we take that learning and apply it on Wednesday, then as a coaching team we'll be really, really happy. Obviously we want to win the game, there's no doubt about that, but for us it's all about the process and the performance and applying the learning that we've taken from the game on Saturday.
Phoebe Graham alongside me in the commentary box this evening. Congratulations on a great win, Phoebe, a little bit earlier on, and hopefully the men can back up the work that you did earlier on.
Yeah, definitely. It'd be nice to see a double win here at Emirates Old Trafford. We played really well as a unit today, and we've been trying to put those two performances together with bat and ball. So it was nice to do it in our final game of the Charlotte Edwards Trophy.
And you've been out there, you played on the pitch. What do you reckon we're going to see today, Kath? It's the same pitch that was used Wednesday, isn't it, for both double headers, and again today?
Yeah, so Wednesday it was a much damper and wet day, and the wicket has dried up a lot, and it was a lot quicker for us in terms of pace on the ball, and it was a lot bouncier, so it was much easier for us to score runs off today. So it was a big scoring wicket for the men on Wednesday. I think a lot went down to that, to a lot of poor deliveries and putting the bad ball away from both teams. So I think it will be a high scoring deck today.
Okay, well, it could be another game where the batters enjoy themselves then.
Definitely, yeah.
Why are you a bowler?
I don't know, in this format. I'm not sure why I've chosen to be a bowler.
Lanky's on his way out. That's happy days. Lancashire's mascot, heading out. Plenty of high fives and thumbs up. Luke Wood for Lancashire Lightning, of course. Having received his recent one-day international call-up, Lancashire have had to make a change to this game because of Matt Parkinson's call-up. Great for Matt, obviously, and we wish him well. I know he's had a ball today. Luke Wells comes in, so they still have that leg spinning option with Luke Wells, don't they?
Yeah, so they've got a like-for-like replacement, but Parkinson's been bowling so well recently for Lancashire. I think a well-deserved call-up into the England side. Granted, probably not the way he wanted to get his call up, but because it's concussion, he's able to actually play on the pitch, which is highly unlikely. I think the first time it's ever happened in Test cricket. So yeah, good luck to Luke Wells tonight. I think he's a good bowler himself and bowled well in the county championship, so it'll be nice for him to get out there in T20 format.
Yeah, an unusual way to make your Test debut, but it'll be a quiz question in like 50 years' time, won't it?
Definitely. I think it's the first time it's ever happened. So for him to get a call to say, because you've got to replace someone with concussion, like for like player, so it had to be a leg spinner. to replace Jack Leach, so he deserved his call-up, but I'm sure Lancashire didn't expect it, particularly with the players that they're going to be missing in the next few weeks.
Yeah, absolutely. Right, the umpires, Neil Pratt and Rob White, are on the edge of the boundary rope. We are just a few minutes away from the start of this T20 Blast fixture. It's a 6:30 start, and it could not be better conditions.
Welcome to Emirates Old Trafford,
Let's just run through that Lancashire team for you again.
Cricket. We hope you enjoy your visit and today's match. On behalf of Emirates and Lancashire Cricket, we would like to thank you for your support of the Red Rose and wish you all the best across the season. Get ready, as it's now time to announce the teams. So strap yourself in for the ride and enjoy.
It's first v third in the North Group of the Vitality T20 Blast, and here is your Lightning 11 for tonight's game against the Northamptonshire Steelbacks. Number 7, Phil Salt. Number 1, Keaton Jennings. 23 is Liam Livingston. Number 33, the captain, Dane Villas. 15 is Stephen Croft. Number 16, Tim David. Number 3 is Luke Wells. 26, Danny Lamb. Number 14 is Luke Wood. Number 2, Tom Hartley. And number 11, Richard Gleeson. Coming through the guard of honour following Lancashire are 2 umpires. Please welcome Neil Pratt and Rob White. Opening the batting for the Northamptonshire Steelbacks, number 15, Lewis McManus, and 17, Ben Curran. And led by number 33, the captain, Dane Villas, it's the Lancashire Lightning.
Make it yet another win. It's been a good start to the Blast, Phoebe Graham.
It's been an excellent start to the Blast for Lancashire. I'm sure they're chuffed with how the performances have gone, and they've just gone strength by strength and seem to have learned every single game on how they can make those marginal gains, both in the field and with the bat. Everyone's firing. It was amazing to see Livingstone score 73 last game off 40 balls. So yeah, I think it's going to be an exciting game.
Hope so. Lancashire have got a good record against the Steelbacks. That helps. They are unbeaten here against Northants.
And I've seen Northants are missing Chris Lynn as well.
They are, yes.
From the opening attack, when he's been very successful for them the past 2 games, scoring 83 and 106. So I'm sure they're quite pleased to see him not in the starting 11. I don't know where he is.
I think Lancashire Lightning will be absolutely delighted.
I think they'll be more than pleased.
Yeah, that Chris Lynn isn't featuring. We're going to see Liam Livingston to open up the bowling from the Brian Statham end. Lancashire against Northants played 5-1-5 here at Emirates Old Trafford. They have lost at the Steelbacks ground, but not here. So here we go, first ball of the match. It's Livingston in, it's swept away by Ben Curran out towards deep mid-wicket, and they're through for 1 run. I've got to say, the ground looks an absolute picture. It really does. The blue sky belting down, the outfield bathed in sunshine. There's flags fluttering around the roof of the pavilion. Plenty on the balcony, hotel balconies watching. It just looks terrific, really does. Emirates Old Trafford under the blue skies today, and we're hoping for a double victory. Having seen Thunder win earlier on, can Lightning back it up this evening? Here's Livingston bowling to McManus, who drives, and that's picked up by Tim David.
I think Livingstone's really earned his spot here to open up in the power play as well. He's bowled really well the first 3 games for Lancashire and been really effective at really containing the batters in terms of runs per over.
Yeah, it was a trial by spin process, wasn't it, on Wednesday? This is cut away by Curran into the offside. There's a pick up and throw, and a direct hit could be tight, but they're through for 1. The score moves on to 3 without loss. It was just everywhere you looked there was a spinner. Just spinners everywhere. Livingston bowling, Tim David bowling, Tom Hartley, Matt Parkinson. Lancashire do like a spinner in T20 cricket.
It was a much slower pitch, this. It did seem to be quicker today, but...
Okay. Livingston over the wicket balls. That's down the leg side and signalled as a wide by the umpire. Score moves on to 4 without loss. You would expect the pitch to turn, wouldn't you? It's used pitch. Expect a little bit of spin. Full toss, which is hammered out through the onside. Villas is chasing after it. Here it goes to the rope. And it beats both Villas, and I think the other fielder was Tom Hartley, trying to get round to cut it off. 4 runs, 8 without loss.
Yeah, poor delivery there from Liam Livingstone. Full toss and asked the batter where he wanted to put it, really. That's 4 runs scored.
Livingston bowls to McManus. That's flicked out towards square leg, where Luke Wells in the side, replacing Matt Parkinson Fields, and there is no run.
But like you say, this wicket's now had 100 overs of cricket on over the past 3 days.
Oh, well, McManus has gone right back and tried to drive into the offside. There's certainly a bit of bounce there for Liam Livingstone. Whether that came off an edge or not, I'm not sure. Maybe it did. It's the end of the first over.
Yeah, there was a big reaction there from Liam Livingstone. It looked like the ball just popped off a length, and I'm not sure if there was a nick there. I think from the reaction, it was just the way that the ball moved that everyone got very excited about.
Yeah, there's a lot of hands in heads, aren't there?
This is where we need the nickometer to see what has happened there.
The snicko is required. Well, we saw Luke Wood on Wednesday sending down some missiles. Blimey, he bowled quickly. So we'll see what he's going to send down this time. Wood and Gleeson were pretty rapid on Wednesday. Did you catch it before your game?
Yeah, they seem to be just getting quicker with the confidence that they're gaining in this competition. I think as a pace bowler in T20 cricket, sometimes you think the faster you bowl, the further you get hit, but Lancashire's attack are outshining the opposition because of this pace of Wood and Gleeson at the moment.
It'll be Wood from the Jimmy Anderson end. He stood there pointing here, there and everywhere. He wants his field in the right position. He's happy now. Here he comes. We've got Curran on strike, and it's Wood in and bowling. Oh, it is a short ball, and it's quick, and it strikes Curran. I think that has deflected off his shoulder onto his helmet. And they'll have to just double-check that he's OK. We can see back on the replay.
Yeah, I think they'll have a few minutes out here as it's hit Curran's helmet. The physio's on the pitch just to check for concussion. But Wood's field is a deep point and square, so it looked like he is looking to bowl the ball quickly, and I was wondering whether a bouncer would come into his attack, but first up shows the aggression that he's got at the moment.
Yes, he's in that type of mood at the minute, isn't he? I mean, he is bowling quickly. He's just been called up by England. I suspect all is well in Wood's world at the minute.
Yeah, definitely. I think first up bowler at headline just shows how on fire he's feeling. A lot of it with pace bowling is confidence and just backing yourself, backing your skills, and everything that he's doing at the moment is getting right. So just keep doing what you're doing. I think Curran looks like that he's okay, but I don't know whether it is 5 minutes you've got to have break after a head blow.
Well, he's been checked out, hasn't he? So the physio came out, he looked at the helmet, obviously done some test or other. Looks like he's going to be all right to continue. I think it did just deflect off his arm onto his helmet, didn't it? But anyway, the checks have gone through, and thankfully it appears that Ben Curran's all right. What do you reckon here? Short again or full?
I think he'll go full here.
Okay. Here he comes, Wood from the Anderson end. Balls, that's cut away. Back of a length of delivery, which sliced away into the offside. Livingston comes round, sends a throw in towards the bowler's end. We've actually come back for 2. That's good running.
That's really good running there. And Luke Wood's got quite an unconventional field here for his sweepers. So rather than having third up and deep and a backward point in the ring, the deep backward point is actually used as the sweeper alongside square. And I think that's probably with his pace at the moment, a lot he will have found is coming out through backward point.
Comes tearing his way back in, bowls once more. That's heaved away through the onside by Curran. Stephen Croft is out on that leg side boundary.
And that's more good running from the Northants there. Managed to scurry 2. And that's just something that you have to do well at Old Trafford. The big pockets, big boundaries. Both sweepers are a couple in from the boundary, but still managing to run 2 to them at the moment.
So 12 without loss. We're halfway into the second over of the match. Northamptonshire Steelbacks, they won the toss. They fancied batting first. And that's exactly what they're doing. They got Curran on 6. As Wood comes in and bowls. He just pivots back and tries to pull it away into the onside. Just deflects out towards mid-wicket. Tom Hartley, with his little towel hooked into the back of his trousers, comes up to complete the fielding. The score remains on 12 without loss.
Yeah, I don't know whether Luke Wood was going to try and get a bit more bounce there. It looked like a short delivery that Curran missed out on. He'll be kicking himself for that. So it was one that you just want to put your arms through, particularly at this stage in the power play with only 2 fielders out.
105 runs in the blast so far this season for Curran. It's just eased away down towards Danny Lamb, that short third man. And there is no run. So a dot ball there, 1 ball left for the second.
That's a really nice length there from Luke Wood, and that's something we spoke a lot about on this wicket that did seem to play a lot slower, was just hitting that hard length as much as possible, splice of the bat. And I think it proves really difficult to score from.
Final ball of the second over. Curran on 6. It is Wood who's in and bowling. And that's hit firmly to mid-on. And he calls McManus through. There's a sharp piece of work. Pick up and throw, direct hit. But they had safely got through for a single to take the score on to 13.
That's well fielded by Tim David. Picked up one-handed, throw at the stumps and hits, but very quick is Sam Curran, so it's going to be hard to outrun him at that pace. He set off as soon as he'd hit the ball there.
So 2 overs gone, 13 without loss. I've got a few in fancy dress. Happy days. So that's the king and they're the guards, see the side.
Oh yeah, love
that's
that.
What we're going for there. Inflatable crown.
Wonder if that's a stag party. How do you warrant being the king?
Yeah, that's a very good shout, yeah. It's a big call to say I want to be king.
Yeah, today is my day, lads.
Over number 3 will be sent down by Richard Gleeson,
who has bowled phenomenally so far in this campaign, hasn't he?
What a blast he's having. Gleeson for Lightning. He's in and bowling to Curran, who's off the back foot, trying to pull the ball away through the onside, and there's no run. He is Lancashire's leading wicket taker in the blast. He's got 8 wickets. They've come at an average of 14 an economy rate of just a fraction over 8. He's had some return to the side, Richard Gleeson. A bit like Luke Wood, he's been sending down a few rockets as well. He's in and bowling a fuller ball to Ben Curran, who's up onto his toes and pushes the ball out through the offside. And he moves on to 8. And the score moves on to 14.
I was calling Ben Curran Sam Curran, wasn't I, getting all the brothers mixed up? It's definitely not Sam Curran out there. Can confirm.
There's too many Currans knocking around. 2 of them at Surrey. Actually, Sam was getting some wickets the other night, I noticed. He's had a bit of a... Actually, Tom's been injured as well, haven't they, both? Tom and Sam have had injury problems over the last couple of months. Gleeson bowling, and McManus up off his toes to send it down towards Danny Lamb.
Yeah, Gleeson has gone for the same field as Wood here in the power play, so he's got his backward point out on the boundary, about 5 yards off, because it's a big boundary that side, and square leg also on the boundary here. So I think the bowlers are really concentrating on bowling that middle stump line, but really focusing on their length. So if the batters do put their arms through it, then it's going to go backward point region versus a third man area.
That's swatted up towards mid-on. Oh, it's got through the fingertips of Tim David. So they've got through for 1 there. Little sneaky run.
Sneakily went through his legs, didn't it? Yeah. One that you don't want to see on replay again.
Now he has to throw the ball to his big fast bowler.
Yeah.
Sorry, mate.
Every run is important here.
16 without loss. Northamptonshire Steelbacks are batting first. And we've got Richard Gleeson running in and bowling. Oh, it's a Yorker, it's a beauty! And he's cleaned up McManus. Off stumps, uprooted, it's out of the ground. And Gleeson's campaign continues to go from strength to strength. Northampton 16 for 1.
That's an absolute belter from Richard Gleeson there. Full Yorker, taken off stump out of the ground. And he's just bowling so well here at every stage of the game, but particularly up front in the power play, attacking those stumps. And it's the perfect Yorker. It's drifted in late, and I think majority of top order batters would have struggled to keep that out.
That must feel sweet as a bowler.
Stump has cartwheeled out of the ground. Gleeson laughing his way back to the top of his mark. What a phenomenal start from Gleeson.
You could see it there in the replay, and as you described it, Phoebe, it was the way, here it comes, the way it drifts in. So he's bowling at pace, it's fallen, and that little drift in right at the base of off stump. What a beauty from Gleeson.
Absolutely brilliant. It almost holds a 4th stump line until the last 3 yards, and where it just drifts in and takes the bottom of off stump. It's the perfect Yorker, tailing in. Unbelievable.
Yeah, try and keep that one out. 16 for 1, 1 ball left of the 3rd. Josh Cobb, new batter in. And Gleeson's into him. That's driven down the ground. It's a crowd catch. Everyone loves a crowd catch. 1 bounce into the ground and caught by Gleeson, and half the crowd are celebrating. End of the over, 16 for 1.
I don't know what's better, a crowd catch or a catch off a no ball and a free hit.
And a free hit.
Because I think sometimes even the bowlers celebrate those without realising.
Good numbers again inside Emirates Old Trafford, as it was for the first match. It's a really, really nice evening as well. Bank holiday Friday. Happy days. Come and watch a bit of cricket. And if you can't get to the ground, then obviously you've got commentary across the BBC Sport website and app, and the magnificent coverage of Lancs TV. We've got a really, really nice evening for a game of T20 cricket. Lancashire Lightning are in good form. They are unbeaten. Played 4, won 3. And we had a tie. Still recovering from that.
That was only last Friday as well.
Tim David into the attack. Balls. Oh, on the reverse. Is he clear, Luke Wood?
Oh.
Luke Wales, sorry, he does. just about. And they'll come back for 2.
That's an interesting shot first up from Tim David. So he's not even had a look to see what Tim David bowls, what his pace is, and his reverse sweeped him And the ball has come almost straight to square leg, but just tipped over Luke Wells at 6'2" there, almost.
Yeah, Lancashire put probably their tallest fielder in that position, but it was just too high for him. Goes right across the stumps now, Curran tries to sweep, but that's fizzed in down the leg side, and the umpire signals a wide. So 19 for 1. Curran on 11. So we've got Tim David bowling for Lancashire Lightning from the Anderson end. Little dab down towards short third. Lammy's up to field. And they sneak another one. 20 for 1. Curran on to 12 now.
Wonder what he's going down to say. Don't play the reverse sweep straight up, mate. It's not on.
I remember a fixture, Phoebe, at Headingley a few years ago. It was the Roses T20 match, Yorkshire-Lancashire. I think it was Aaron Finch batting for Yorkshire. And it was the very first ball of the Roses fixture. As Davey comes in and balls to Cobb, that's hit to mid-off for no run. And he reverse hit it for 6. First ball of the match.
I think it does say a lot when you get it right, though, doesn't it? It says, it almost screams your presence, but if you get it wrong.
David balls again. Oh, he's asking for an LBW. The ball deflects down towards short. And third man. There's no bat on it. Or was there? No, he is. He's hit it. He's given it as a run. So there was a bit of bat on it from Cobb.
I think there had to be bat on it there. It was hitting middle of middle, if not. So that makes complete sense why the umpire didn't give it then.
Cobb off the mark with that. 21 for 1. And Tim David bowling now to Curran. Again down on one knee and kind of lapping it up and over the field on the onside down towards the boundary for 4, and he tumbles over in the process.
It's a bit of a freebie there for Curran. David dropped the ball short and it's just sat up, and Curran's swept that down to fine leg without any sort of challenges at all, really.
It's a pretty safe shot in the end, isn't it?
Anything short on this wicket does just sit up.
9 off the over so far. It's off the back foot, cut away, beats the dive of Luke Wells. He almost takes the umpire out. It's gone for 4. Well, that's actually turned into quite a handy over. That's a good one for the Steelbacks. Score's moved on to 29 for 1.
Yeah, it's a lovely shot through point extra sort of region. His point cover sort of region even. He's just pushed his hands through that off the back foot and played the spin really well there. 20 now to Curran. 29 for 1 for Northants. 4 overs into this blast fixture. A few of these Lancashire kind of hats, fluffy hats. I don't know what you call them. It's like a... They only seem to come out on cricket pitches as well, don't they?
What is it? I don't know how to describe it. A fluffy hat blowing in the breeze. It looks lovely.
Just looking at Northants' last game, they actually posted 227 against Leicester Foxes. But it was Lynn that was scoring all the runs and Neesham following up with 75, so...
They're 2 strong batting lineups, aren't they? It's Hartley into the attack. Oh, that's hammered for 6. Out towards the lower tier. Catch it if you can. Maybe there was a crowd catch. Well done, sir. Take a bow.
That's a great shot from Cobb. He's just flat batted that through long on, huge into the second tier. Great shot for 6. Oh, and he's been caught in the crowd as well. Chuffed a bit. He can throw it back, punches all his mates. What a day out.
Hartley in. Oh, he goes again out towards that boundary and clears it once more. Doesn't quite reach the seats on this occasion, but successive 6s, both the Cobb, both slapped out through mid-wicket.
It just shows how much the ball's sitting up there on a length, and he's just rocked back, punched it through, only just cleared the boundary, but it's a big pocket out there.
41 for 1. Cobb now to 13. What's Hartley's response? In and balls. Hits it through the offside. Bounces just in front of extra cover where Villas is fielding. It was a horrible bounce as well in front of the Lancashire captain.
I think with this variable bounce of this wicket, there's going to be chances and there's going to be opportunities for the fielding side. You've just got to be patient as a bowler here.
Down the pitch comes Cobb and hammers it down the ground for 4. Well, this is a good over for the Steelbacks, and it's all Cobb's work.
That's another nice shot from Cobb there. He's played through the ball, through the offside. Gorgeous drive there through mid-off. Low risk. Punched it through.
16 off the over. 2 balls left. Hartley from around the wicket balls. Cobb will work it into the onside. He has to go and fetch it off his own bowling, Hartley. And he gets through for a single. Cobb to 18. And Northants are 46 for 1. 1 ball remaining of the 5th over. 17 off this one so far. Curran back on strike. Hartley in conversation with his skipper. Now what they're doing. Little tweak to the field. Luke Wood's running out towards the mid-wicket boundary.
I think they're covering Curran's sweep that he seems to be loving to play today. So they've now moved the 2 fielders to backward square.
Hartley bowling. And Curran just takes a single. Nudged away off his pads out through square leg for 1. And he moves on to 21. And that is the end of the 5th over. 47 for 1 after 5. With Curran on 21 and Cobb on 18. So the Steelbacks are making a pretty solid start to their innings. I'll have a little change in the commentary box as I'm going to put some headphones on Saqib Mahmood, who's alongside me. And see Luke Wood return to the attack from that Jimmy Anderson end. Good evening, Saqib Mahmood. Are you well?
All good, Scott. How are you?
I'm okay, thank you. Yeah, great to have you with us. I mean, I'd rather be watching you out there play, obviously.
Yeah, I mean, it's weird being sat this side of it. First little stint commentating, so we'll see how it goes.
Oh, it's all good fun. Here's Wood in and bowling to Curran, who's rocking back, pulling the ball, getting it up and over. The infield on the leg side lands safe, and there's 1 run, 48 for 1. What have you made of it so far then? 5 overs gone. That was a pretty good over, the previous one.
Yeah, I mean, I must admit, I'm surprised we've only seen 3 overs a seam in the power play. You see Dane Villas using his spinners, so they're spinning it to the long side, but there's not been a great deal of spin so far, so the batters have been able to cash in, especially to the shorter side, Josh Cobb especially in that last over.
Yeah, Wood returning for a 2nd over, running in towards us with Cobb unbeaten on 18. Oh, it's a swing and a miss from Cobb through to the keeper, and there is no run. What have you made of Wood and Gleeson? How much have you seen the first few games, Saqib, and how well they've been bowling?
I think they've done amazing. You should obviously see the times that these guys are bowling at. It's mainly up top, and then the back end. It's definitely hardest to bowl in the power play here at Old Trafford when that ball's hard and you've only got 2 men out. And I think they've done a great job, as you've seen here. Luke Wood only gone for 6, and Gleeson only went for single overs, single runs as well in his first over.
Here's Wood in and bowling to Cobb. Worked away into the onside, scooped up by Luke Wells. They get through for a single. Cobb moves on to 19, 49 for 1. And the pace they've been bowling at has been, well, it's been magnificent fun to watch from the safety of the commentary box.
Yeah, I mean, it is hard work watching from the side when you're seeing the ball fly through like that, and some of the wickets that these boys have been getting. The wickets look like they've been a great deal of fun to be bowling on over the last few weeks. You know, I saw some of the balls Woody bowled on this wicket in the last game, and you know, sort of ripping the glove. He's already hit Ben Curran on the head today. It's as a fast bowler, it's great to watch.
He's in again, Luke Wood. Bowls a bouncer, but that's down the leg side, and signalled as a wide by the umpire. That brings up the 50 for Steelbacks, 50 for 1.
You can see Luke Wood obviously using the wicket a lot here. It hasn't been a great deal pitched up. He's banged the wicket hard, and I think that comes from the hybrid pitch that they're playing on. And as it becomes used, and you know, you play on it more and more, it sort of starts to become two-paced, with obviously the wicket underneath, which can be quite drier, and then the AstroTurf stitches on top.
Wood left arm over the wicket, bowls, and Curran defends, and then for a second rather anxiously looked over his shoulder as the ball bounced just past his off stump and down towards the keeper. A slightly nervous glance over the shoulder from Curran then.
Yeah, I can tell you one thing, Woody wouldn't have been kicking that onto the stumps watching his football in the warm-ups.
Not good?
Nah.
Oh dear. So you've got to dig in there right early on, haven't you? You're four balls into your first stint and already...
I've warned him, I've been in the dressing room earlier, I've warned him, I said there's a lot coming their way.
Wood over the wicket, balls again. Oh, it's down the leg side and signalled as a wide by the umpire. So 51 for 1. Curran on to 22, Cobbs on 19.
He looks in good rhythm though, does Woody. You know, with all the cameras we've got here, you can sort of see all angles, and you see his run upside on and see those legs pumping, and he looks relaxed while doing it as well. And you know, those are the things you want to see as a quick bowler.
Here he is again in, and balls once more, and Curran looks to try and uppercut it almost down towards the third man boundary, but beats him and through to the keeper, and there's no run.
He's looking at the square leg umpire there. I think he's thinking that's the second over shoulder right of the over. Might have got away with one there, Woody.
The umpires with a little glance at each other, but nothing more than that. Final ball of the 6. Wood's on for just the 9 so far. He's in and balls. And that signal is a wide. Another one down the leg side, third of the over. 52 for 1. He'll have to go back and bowl it all again. He's got a field that has a deep backward square leg and a deep backward point, with the two outside the circle. This is the final over of the power play, so the fielding restrictions will be relaxed after this delivery. As Curran waits. Takes a single? He does. Just drops it into the onside and jogs through for 1. So that completes the power play. 53 for 1 at the end of the 6. What do you reckon? Yes, who's ahead after the power play?
I'd say it's about par.
Okay.
Look, when you're batting at Old Trafford, you want to make the most of that power play, and you find the run rate's obviously the highest in those first 6 overs. So you know, it's obviously crucial time of the game now where you want to put the skates on a bit on that run rate. So you know, they've obviously got off to a good start, only losing the 1 wicket, but crucial part of the game now, trying to control that run rate.
Is this where we're going to see spin, and a bit more spin now?
Yeah, which is why I was surprised with only Gleeson and Woody only bowled 3 overs in that power play. You know, one thing we do really well is you spin well in the middle and get them hitting to the long side, and we've got guys who can obviously turn the ball both ways. But I suppose the one thing that Northants have in their favour is the right and left hand combination at the moment.
Livingston returns for his second over. That's chopped away into the offside. Won't get through for 1. Just burst through the grasp of Keaton Jennings.
Yeah, and looking out here, you've obviously got one short side here to the construction work, and there's one real big side. So Livy will be trying his hardest to get them to hit that to that long side. And this is where it can be difficult when you've got right and left hand. And I'm sure the batters will be looking to target that short side as well.
Well, that building site was battered on Wednesday. The ball was in there more than it was out in the middle. It received a bit of tap to the building site. This is Cobb off the back foot. In the end, it's slapped down the ground for a single. He moves on to 20. It's 55 for 1. Brings Curran back on strike. 24 not out. So Livingston with Curran on strike has a deep backward square leg and a deep mid wicket. Deep extra cover, long off, long on, and off the back foot and hit firmly enough through the covers. Just for 1, Curran to 25, 56 for 1.
Doesn't look like a great deal of spin out there, still looks a very good wicket. So Livy, you'll see Livy mixing up his paces here.
Livingston into Cobb. And swatted out through mid wicket for a single, 57 for 1. The hybrid pitch that is being used there, I mean, would you expect it to behave like a normal pitch? The more you use it, the more it will spin.
Yeah, and I guess it will be more two-paced as well now, when the wicket's fresh and it's not too dry underneath as well. It will play quite nicely, but as you use it more and more and the wicket becomes dry, you'll find you know, varied pace off the wicket, whether you hit the dry surface underneath or the AstroTurf on top. But it'll definitely start to spin more, as we see with all the other wickets here.
Final ball of the 7th. Livingston is in, and Cobb hits it back over his head, and Tim David takes the catch, and Cobb goes for 21, and Northants lose their 2nd wicket. Final ball of the 7th over. Livingston strikes 58 for 2.
See Livy's leg spin's turning a bit more than his off spin, and Josh Cobb looking to target that short side again, worked in our favour. Livy did him in the length there.
So 58 for 2 after 7 on a bright sunny evening at Emirates Old Trafford. It's the 2nd game that we brought to you today, having enjoyed a victory for the Thunder a little earlier on. We've now got the Vitality Blast game between Lancashire Lightning and the Northamptonshire Steelbacks. Early days of the Blast. A lot of group games to go, but a good start, isn't it? Blimey, unbeaten, 3 wins from 4 happy days.
Yeah, and look, momentum is massive in this format, and when games come thick and fast, you know, it can have a big impact on the season, even though it's early doors. You lose 2 on the bounce in 2 days, and it can really shift that momentum as well. So boys are looking good so far, as Luke Wells comes into attack here.
Yes, Wells starting today because Matt Parkinson receiving his England call-up in rather unusual circumstances. And Wells gets a chance in the side. He's got Curran on strike. Close of play, by the way, in the Test match. I'll let you know the score in a second. It's day 2 of that opening Test of the summer at Lord's. But here's Wells first. In the balls to Curran. Oh, we love a crowd catch. Driven into the offside, 1 bounce, and picked up by Lancashire captain Dane Villas. And there's no run. Wells from the Anderson end. He's over the wicket and bowling. Oh, on the reverse, and gets the ball up and over the infield, down towards the boundary. It might have enough on it to reach the rope. Lamb's after it. It does. It's 4 runs for Curran. 62 for 2. Inventive from Curran.
Yeah, I think he's expecting Wells to obviously dart him in there with the short leg side, trying to hide him from that short side, and he's just sort of used the pace of a short third.
Curran's up to 30 from just 25 deliveries, 3 fours. And Wells is back in to Curran. That's an edge that disappears again down towards the 3rd man boundary, and again it's Lamb against the ball. There's the chase, there's the dive. Oh, I think he stopped it. He has. Great work from Danny Lamb, saving a run for his team. They came back for a 3rd. But he caught up with it right down by the boundary rope. Looked like the ball was going to beat him. Needed the dive. Good effort. 65 for 2. Curran now 33 not out. Saif Zaib is the new batter, and he's on strike. And that's eased away along the ground through extra cover for a single, and he's off the mark straight away. 66 for 2 now. It's been interesting as a visiting team here, because you know what you're going to get from Lancashire, don't you? It's kind of the game plan is out there for all to see, but I guess he's trying to counter it. As Curran swings and the ball disappears past the keeper, and again it's down towards the boundary, and there's a little edge on that. It's gone for runs, gone for 4 of them. 70 for 2.
It's almost there as a bowler where you want to see by so it doesn't go on your figures. But it looks hard work out of that rough with Luke Wells coming around the wicket, and like you said, you know what you're going to get here at Old Trafford, and teams will change their sides to accommodate for the wicket and the conditions you get here, and they haven't changed a great deal over the years.
37 from 27. Wells around the wicket, and he's bowled him. Looking to reverse it again, Curran. This time, Wells sends the ball crashing into the stumps, and that's the 3rd wicket to fall. 70 for 3. Curran's gone for 37. And there's a bit of T20 cricket in a nutshell for you, isn't it? get a few streaky runs down to the third-man boundary, and you're feeling, bowler, blimey, everything's against me, and then you come back with a wicket with the final ball.
Yeah, we saw one earlier in the over sort of take the outside edge, might have just caught the rough, and this one might have just missed it and skidded on. So telling you what the wicket's like. For Lancashire's sake, hopefully it flattens out second dig under lights.
Just as Lanky does his stuff around the boundary edge, I'll bring you an update. A closer play score, England against New Zealand in the Test match. New Zealand 236 for 4. And they lead England by 227 runs with 6 wickets remaining. Mitchell 97 and Blundell 90. And those two came together with a score at 56 for 4. So a brilliant partnership between those two. I don't know what Lanky's throwing into the crowd, is it? He's hurtling something in the direction of the party stand. Here's Hartley into the attack again, and this is swept by Safe Zabe down towards the boundary, and it's gone for 4 runs, and the score moves on to 74 for 3. The sweep has been a popular shot tonight.
Yeah, I think as the wicket is turning, I think guys are less likely to use their feet and come down in case they get beaten on the outside. So yeah, I think you'll see more and more sweeps coming into the game here.
Hartley from the Brian Statham end, left arm around the wicket, balls worked away off the pads, snapping it out through mid-wicket. Up comes Stephen Croft to field. Safe Save gets through for a single. He moves on to 6 with Keogh, a new batter, on strike for the first time. Hartley has gone for 23. And he's back in from the Statham end to Keogh. Gets onto that front foot and pushes the ball away. Dane Villas lurking around at short extra cover to field. No run. Play back to the bowler. Another dot ball. Fielded off his own bowling by Hartley. Moves in and balls to Keogh up onto his toes. Again, just hits it back down the ground. And again, there's no run scored. Every dot ball being cheered. 3 on the spin here. Keogh this time does get a single. Onto that front foot and with a bit of wrist, flicks the ball away through the onside for 1. And he keeps the strike as well. 9 overs gone, 76 for 3. Keogh 1, Safe Zabe on 6. Saqib Mahmood alongside me in the commentary box. We'll hear from Phoebe Graham a little bit later on. A blast fixture live from Emirates Old Trafford. And potentially an intriguing game bubbling up. We saw an absolute stack of runs on Wednesday, didn't we? It was a run fest Wednesday.
Yeah, I remember watching, following the score from home, and I thought the game was well and done, and then I had another look later, and it looked like they were close to getting it at one stage. A good over from Gleeson in the 19th, I think, sort of helped us the other day.
Yeah, 400 runs scored in the game on Wednesday. 400 runs from 40 overs. Good fun to watch.
Who'd want to be a bowler?
I asked the very same question of Phoebe Graham before. This is swept out through the onside for a single. 77 for 3. Keogh moves on to 2. And safe to say back on strike and beaten on 6. Again, little tweaks to the field here. Couple in the ring on the offside. There's a deep backward point as well. Zabe goes back and just steers it off the face of the bat along the ground to Croft. Gets through for 1, moves to 7, 78 for 3. Brings Keogh back on strike. Field changes, as you mentioned, with this left-hand, right-hand combination. Here comes Livingston, balls again. Oh, that's slapped away through the offside. Does beat the fielder, Keaton Jennings, that is.
I think you look at the field here for when the left-hander Zabe's on strike, you can see the point man back and the cover man up, just to rule out that reverse sweep he's been playing to great effect. So the boys are thinking on their feet, and looks a good change, trying to make them hit in front of square.
79 for 3. And he's just popped back down the pitch, and it's gathered by Liam Livingstone off his own bowling. And there is no run. fizzes one in a little bit quicker. Zabe goes back and steers it down to Danny Lamb, who's tumbling away to his left, inside the circle, short third. Get through for 184.3. T20 plans having to evolve mid-game then. I guess that's just the way it goes. Another attempt to sweep. Livingston appeals. They get through. No bat on it. Leg by has been signalled. So score moves on to 81 for 3. Keogh 3. Safe Zabe on 8. Halfway stage. And Saqib Mahmood will be back alongside us a little bit later on. Phoebe Graham is going to come and rejoin us. And we've got an interesting game of T20 cricket developing, I think, here. We know what's going to come. As Saqib mentioned before, it is spin, spin, and a bit more spin. And we're going to see Hartley to send down his third over. He's bowled 2 overs for 24. Run rate just hovering below 10. Has dipped a little bit. He's key off the back foot, works it to square leg, and they get through for 1.
I feel like it's that stage of the game as well, isn't it, where you can't quite see whether it's the bowling team or the batting team that's on top. And a good partnership here from Kia and Saab could change that momentum, and it's just a case of containing at the moment.
Another attempt to sweep from Safe Zabe, and it's missed, taken by Salt. I'm with you. I can't quite work out who's got the advantage here, kind of at the halfway stage. It's quite intriguing. Shuffles back into the crease this time, works the ball away through mid-wicket for a single.
We seem to think the sweep's on to try and get these spinners away at the moment, but aren't quite getting hold of them. I think there's been about 3 LBW appeals, a couple of misses, so the sweep is on, but they're just not quite making contact because the ball isn't spinning as much as they'd have probably liked to have seen at Old Trafford at the moment.
Hartley in and bowling, and that's clears Villas an extra cover. It's a great shot. That's gone for 4.
Yeah, that's a beautiful shot through extra cover, stepping down the track, and then plays it. Lovely shot, 1 bounce 4 through the covers. Awesome.
Doubles his total with that. Swing of the bat. Stood there and watched it, admired it. 87 for 3. It's Hartley's comeback. In and bowls, it's flicked up towards mid-on where Tim David comes up to field. Score moves on to 88 for 3 with 1 ball left of the 11th. Steelbacks of Northamptonshire have lost 3 wickets, but these two batting now, edging them up towards 3 figures. Down the pitch comes Zabe and hammers it firmly along the ground. Will be scooped up by Tim David.
Who gets an enormous ripple of applause, doesn't he, in front of mid-off there. He must have found himself some real supporters, only been here a few weeks in Lancashire.
He's got his own little fan club.
Helps when you hit the ball as far as that, doesn't it?
Yeah, true.
If you can hit 6s into the second tier, you're guaranteed to get a following.
You're going to be quite popular, aren't you? Partnership worth 19 between these two. The Curran Cobb partnership of 42, the standout one so far in the innings, but really intriguing game of T20 cricket. 11 overs gone, 89 for 3. It's a slightly unusual score in T20 cricket.
Yeah, it's very steady, isn't it? Very, very steady at the moment.
Luke Wells to Safe Zabe, and that's just run through point for 1 run. Here comes Croft from the boundary to field. 90 for 3.
Yeah, Lancashire are very much containing with spin at the moment, and Northampton is rotating the strike well. It's just whether they can get those boundaries away in the next 2 to 3 overs to help set a big T20 total.
Leg side boundary riders at long on, deep mid-wicket, deep backward square. He actually clatters it away into the offside. This Keogh, it bounces rather awkwardly.
I think he's definitely preempted that as key. He's wanting to hit it over extra where there's space there of a low-risk shot. I think Wells has seen it and dragged it back short.
Back into Keogh, who cuts through the offside. There's Luke Wood sweeping up on the cover boundary to get a single. It moves to 9, 91 for 3 in the 12th. Brings Safe back on strikes. They have to switch it around again. One's a left-hander, one's a right-hander. Little twirl the bat from the batter. Luke Wells, 1 for 14. Halfway into his second over. It's chopped out into the offside. It will be picked up by Keaton Jennings.
Yeah, I think Lancashire will be happy with this at the moment. They're definitely containing the batters. They're rotating well, but it's those boundary balls that they're not scoring at the moment.
Keogh 10 from 12. There's Wells into him. Being carved away into the offside, but again Luke Wood in position. Just get the one. Keogh moves on to 11, 93 for 3. One ball remaining of the 12th over. Just singles so far off this over. 4 of them. Wells bowls and a big swing and a miss from Safe Zabe, and Keogh's backing up at the non-striker's end, and he quickly has to turn and get back, and slightly chaotic really as Salt sent the throw in towards the bowler's end.
Yeah, that's well fielded from Phil Salt there behind the stumps. He's really quick behind the stumps, so he's run there. Batter not on strike is wanting to run a quick single, but he's sent back and makes it back safely.
Richard Gleeson returns.
So Northamptonshire have actually dropped Jimmy Neesham down the order despite scoring 86 on Wednesday night. So I don't know what the logic there is. Maybe he's not one for spin. I don't know. Do you know a lot about Jimmy Neesham?
He can hit it, I know that.
Yeah. They might be thinking we'd quite like him in here. They might be wanting a wicket.
Yeah, he can give it a fair tap. Here's Gleeson back into the attack. And Keogh swats it away through mid-wicket. Tim David comes up from the deep mid-wicket boundary. Score moves on to 94 for 3.
So this is Gleeson's second over.
Yeah, 1 for 4, Gleeson. First over picked up 1 wicket, went for just a 3. It was the absolute beauty, wasn't it? That in-swinging Yorker that rattled the stumps. This is flicked away down towards fine leg, and I think that may have come off the thigh pad. Yeah, the umpire signals a leg by, no bat on that. Just deflecting away off the thigh pad down towards fine leg. 95 for 3.
He's got a much more traditional feel to these two batters, so he's got third man out, fine leg, square, cow, and both mid-on and mid-off in the ring.
Gleeson over the wicket and hit firmly through the offside. Croft does well, gets across the ground, stops the ball. Come back for 2.
I think he was going for his Yorker then again, was Gleeson. Sometimes when you don't execute that Yorker, it does become a low full toss, which it was then. But you've still got to bowl them and back yourself the way that one he executed in the first over.
And balls, short ball, and Keogh trying to rock back and pull the ball. It deflects off him, and it may have deflected up onto the helmet as well. So we might have to have another check.
Yeah, the physio's getting some airtime today, isn't he? I think the batter looks absolutely fine. He's just got to do another sense check. But that is another fabulous bouncer there from Gleeson. Body line, not giving the batter any room to strike the ball. and has also slightly followed him as he's backed away to try and free his arms. He's very good at executing those bounces, is Gleeson. Did that exceptionally well against Yorkshire when Brooke was backing away, and he just followed Brooke, and Brooke ended up on the floor, I think, once or twice, with his accuracy in the way that he changes his direction at the crease.
I think he had a couple on the backside, didn't he, in that Roses match?
Which was only a week ago. I think I've been up and down the country since.
It's a busy old week next week. 3 away trips for Lancashire Lightning next week.
Yeah, we're in Lancashire next week then.
Leicestershire on Tuesday, Yorkshire Wednesday, Durham on Friday.
Wow. You're going up north.
97 for 3. Keogh's all right. He's had his checks. Here comes Gleeson. A swing and a miss from Keogh and through to the keeper. And there's no run.
It's well bowled from Gleeson again. Just held a really good delivery there. I think it's gone over top of off stump. So I was listening to an interview from Ben Stokes. I think they asked how they're producing England players from Durham at the moment. Just said, we're northern, aren't we? That was it.
That was his reason, his explanation.
We are northern.
We are the north, that's the reason why. Gleeson bowls to Keogh. And that's down towards third man. Up off his front foot and trying to slap it through the offside, I think, and it's looped down towards Luke Wells in front of the pavilion.
It's another great over from Gleeson there. I love how he's coming into the attack at the moment and bowling the ball fast and attacking the stumps, as well as using that shorter bowl as such a positive option there. He's bowled that shorter length again and just one bounce through to third man. Could have gone anywhere, could have been a catch. I think he's on form at the moment, is Gleeson.
He's enjoying a good return to the team. 9 wickets in the blast so far this season. He's enjoying his Friday night out at Emirates Old Trafford. Half the ground in sunshine. We've got Danny Lamb hiding the ball as he comes in and bowls. It's a swing and a miss from Keogh. Pace off from Lamb to begin with, through to the keeper, no run.
So his sister Emma did very well today, scoring, I think it was 42?
42, yeah.
Yeah, to help us get over the line for the Thunder, which was brilliant. So hopefully the siblings can have a good day out today.
Let's hope it's a Lamb special. 98 for 3. Keogh waits. There is Danny Lamb in and bowls, and that's flicked off the hip. Stephen Croft will be in pursuit of this. They come back for 2. Brings up the 100 as well for Northants. 100 for 3 in the 14th. I've got to say, Emma looked in fine form today with the bat, didn't she? Then again, she's been in fine form with the bat for about 2 years now.
Yeah, she's been batting brilliantly throughout this campaign. I think she's had 1 no score, and apart from that has just been outstanding for the Thunder.
Keogh steps to the leg side and hits it through the offside for 1 run. 101 for 3.
Yeah, the 2 openers, Emma Lamb and Georgie Boyce, particularly the first 4 games, I think they posted over 100 runs, the 2 of them, without loss of wicket within the first 3 games for the Thunder. Just been playing so well, particularly in the power play phase of the game.
Lamb balls. Oh, that's heaved away through the onside. There's 2 chasing after it. Oh, I think they may have left it for each other. And in the end, it's either gone for 4 or 6. We're waiting for clarification. He's signalled it as a 4.
That really should have been out. It's just, they're both looking at each other. Wood and Hartley down there. It's dropped 5 yards short of both of them, and neither of them have run towards it.
A bit to you, to me, that, wasn't it?
It was, yeah. Danny Lamb will be furious.
Does look a bit grumpy.
A pocket that shouldn't have been found.
Both fielders on that leg side boundary stand there with their hands on their hips. This is fallen off stump. Pushed away into the offside by Safe Zabe. And he Goes through for 1. Moves on to 17, 106 for 3.
It's like what you see in village cricket. You don't often see that in professional cricket, particularly Lancashire, who've been outstanding in the field the past couple of games. So one of those, let it slip and let it slide. Move on.
Indeed. Final ball of Lamb's first over. That's hammered into the offside. Pick up and throw. Direct hit. Oh, he's given it. Brilliant work, Luke Wells. Pick up and throw. Direct hit to the stumps. And Lancashire break the partnership, which was causing 1 or 2 problems for the Lightning.
And that is an excellent piece of fielding there from Luke Wells. He's hit the ball hard at him in extra cover, but he's picked it up cleanly, shied at the bowler's end, hit the stumps, direct hit. Absolutely phenomenal. And that's professional cricket fielding. That's what Lancashire are as a unit, and that's what they stand for. Brilliant.
From one extreme to the other.
Literally.
Well, he absolutely hammered it. He wanted to run straight away. We're going to see a super slow motion replay here. He's looking at the fielder all the way. Oh, I could be in a bit of trouble. Oh yeah, he's gone.
Definitely out, yeah. They can't go up to the third screen here, but we have given it out if they did come up to us.
To be fair, you're giving most things out though, aren't you?
Yeah, as a bowler, definitely.
Yeah.
Hey, a couple of run-outs today.
Actually, let's cross to our run-out correspondent, Phoebe Graham. You're the run-out expert.
There we go, yeah.
Oh, but just how good was that from Luke Wells, Phoebe?
That was brilliant. And do you know what? Direct hit, I didn't actually have one of those today. Just 2 into Ellie Threlkeld, who took the stumps, given out both times.
Couple of run-outs, couple of catches. Happy days, Phoebe Graham. I've got to admit, I was a little bit nervous knowing that you were up here with me later on. As Livingston into Neesham. We do see Jimmy Neesham now. Worked away to mid-wicket for a single, 107 for 4. I was hoping you were going to have a good day, you know.
So was I. Because I thought
Let's keep everything crossed.
We played here on the double-header on Wednesday night and I didn't bat or bowl, and I thought, oh God, I hope that doesn't happen again. I won't have anything to talk about.
You did have a bit of a quiet one on Wednesday, didn't you?
Very quiet day out on Wednesday.
107 for 4. Livingston balls to Zabe, but that's pushed out into the offside for 1. Well, Jimmy Neesham's got a decent amount of time to bat here, which from the Steelbacks point of view is quite good. Lancashire Lightning won't mind seeing the back of him. Fizzed in. Oh, big appeal for LBW. I'm afraid from Liam Livingston it was a lonely appeal. Nobody else was joining in. His mates didn't back him up there, and the umpire says not out.
I think there could have been a bit of bat involved there, as Phil Salt didn't look interested at all behind the stumps, but the line looked good. I was hoping it would replay on the TV so it could give you more there, but...
Livingston in and bowling, worked off the pads by Neesham, flicked away through mid-wicket. Livingston's chasing after it. 109 for 4. Picks the ball up and drops it and has to pick it up again. Having to field off his own bowling because the fielders are all set back. And it's a long walk back to his bowling mark, is this.
Yeah, everyone from the leg side is out, so...
Livingston in and Zabe up onto his toes and flat bats it away through mid-wicket for 1. Takes him on to 19.
Yeah, on the leg side at the moment, there's almost 2 in there if you can get the timing absolutely perfect inside the ring.
Yeah, you want to hit it to just about level with the disc, don't you, really? And then by the time the fielders come up, you probably can come back for 2. It's an art form in itself, isn't it, turning 1s into 2s here. Forward goes Neesham, just works the ball into the offside. Stopped by Tom Hartley. End of the over. So 5 to go. 110 for 4. Neesham on 2, safe Zabe on 19. It's been, so far, an enjoyable day of cricket with that early fixture and then the evening game tonight. And if you're in the sunshine, so see the contrast between what you wear when you're in the sunshine and the shade is quite marked, really. You've got plenty of shirt sleeves and sunglasses. And if you're on the there's a Burnley flag there. If you're on the hotel balcony, I got excited by that. The Burnley flag on the balcony. Saki Bibu's back alongside me.
Is that your club, is it?
It is, yeah.
We'll stay quiet then.
Here's David in and bowling. And that's up and over, short fine leg, down towards the boundary for 4 runs. And the score moves on to 114 for 4. Well, you see, when Alex Davis was here, he just used to give me stick all the time because he's a Rovers fan, isn't he?
Yeah, as is Livy.
Yeah, he's not really given me much stick, thankfully.
I've only known about Livy being a Rovers fan over the last couple of years when they've actually done it right.
David in the bowls to safe save. He goes back and cuts the ball down towards backward point. Croft comes round to field. 115 for 4 now.
Thought we might have seen Danny Lamb this over with 2 left-handers in and that short leg side. I think with a bit of pace, you've got the ability to hide the ball outside the off stump. But yeah, Jimmy Neesham, he can hit a big ball, so see Tim David trying to hide that short side from him.
Yeah, he could connect with it, can't he? Jimmy Neesham, he's good fun. He's up onto his toes, the ball disappears away into the onside, and he's through for a single. It was a slightly bizarre looking shot. Moves to 3, 116 for 4. How are you describing that one?
Probably something I'd play there.
Zay back on strike. There's David in and bowls. That's up and over extra cover. Croft is back in the game. He's covering a lot of ground, is Stephen Croft. They come back and they run 2 in the end, 118 for 4. He's a lot of work to do there, hasn't he, Stephen Croft? He's got a lot of grass to cover to his left and to his right.
Yeah, it's a big playing surface and that long side out there. There's a lot of running to be done.
Safe. Zabe waits as Tim David bowls, and that's just sliced away again through the offside. Here comes Croft again, but slightly more gentle jog as he scoops up the ball. 119 for 4. 1 ball left of the 16th over. 119 for 4. Jimmy Neesham is looking out towards that building site. Oh, he's been bowled by Tim David, who celebrates a wicket, and Neesham departs. He's made an awful mess of his stumps. They're in all sorts of ugly looking angle, but David bowls Neesham, and Northants lose their 5th wicket, 119 for 5.
Smart bowling from David there. He just fired that one through a little bit quicker.
Just a bit of extra pace then?
Yeah, you see there, he's done it from pace. A little bit shorter. Usually they've just stood up in the wicket, held a little, but that one skidded through nicely.
And a nice celebration too from Tim David. I think he enjoyed that.
Yeah, I was chatting to him yesterday. It looks like he's working on his bowling a fair bit, so I think every wicket he gets, he'll enjoy. But yeah, look, I think, you know, in the absence of Matthew Parkinson, I think the bowlers in the middle have done a great job. And they've obviously got the back end of the innings here in the last 4 overs. Dane Villa's still sticking with spin. But big scout there and getting Jimmy Neesham.
Yeah, that was double kind of celebration, wasn't it? Obviously, Tim David have enjoyed the wicket, but it's actually who it is as well, as much as anything else.
Yeah, and I was surprised of how low he's batted down the order. I've seen he's batted 3 quite in a number of games and had a lot of success. So yeah, look, I'm not complaining as a length player.
No, definitely. Yeah, Phoebe made the same point. It was quite surprising to see him come in as low down as that, but anyway, he's been and gone. Tom Taylor, new batter. 4 overs left, 119 for 5. Wells is bowling to Zabe. That's off the front foot and pushed into the offside for no run. I can't quite work this out. 4 overs left, 119 for 5. It's a curious T20 match.
Yeah, I think before the ball of Jimmy Neesham getting out, I think they'd have probably looked in the region of 150 to 160. I think that's the total you could defend on here if you bowl well. But yeah, massive wicket for Lancs here, and I think they'll look to restrict them below 150 at the moment.
Here's Wells, over number 3 for him. Oh, down the pitch comes safe save, hits it over the offside. Tim David will get round, I think he does. And they'll come back for a 2 as the throw comes in. So 121 for 5. Wells 1 for 18, halfway into his third over. Safe save on strike for the Steelbacks. He's around the wicket bowling. Ooh,
that's right.
Turn and bounce for Luke Wells. .121 for 5. Wells is moving in again. Oh, down the pitch comes Safe Zabe and hammers it over the offside. And it's out towards the building site. And it's gone for 4, 125 for 5.
There's some shot after seeing the ball turn massively past the outside edge, the ball before. Brave using your feet after seeing that.
33 not out now. Nice little step down the pitch and a terrific shot up and over extra cover for 4. So he's 33 from 26, 4 fours.
Point man's moving from a square. Odds on a reverse sweep here.
Final ball of the 17th.
There we go.
In he goes to reverse it. And it's picked up by Keaton Jennings. And they do get through for a single. 3 overs remaining, 126 for 5. And, well, I suspect it's safe save, isn't it, for Northants? If they're going to get a decent total on the board here, or what they think is a defendable total, he's the key man, you would think.
Yeah, and I think as a Lancs bowler now, you'll be looking to just get him off strike. Looks like pace is coming back into the attack, so you'll probably see Luke Wood hiding the ball outside the off stump. Just get him off strike and then use the wicket to the right-hander.
In this situation, how much will this now be? What he's about to bowl, Luke Wood, how much is this going to be pre-planned, or how much is it going to be a little bit off the cuff?
I think you'll get a gauge from what the field is here, and looking at the conditions, looking at how Safe Zabe's played, I think you know, want to use the dimensions, put the percentages in his favour. You see 2 men out there on the offside. Square leg looks to be up, so it looks like he'll be trying to hide that ball outside the off stump. Yeah, I'd imagine this will be full and wide. He's even coming around the wicket here. Yeah, I'd imagine wide Yorkers would be the case here to the left-hander.
So full and wide of off stump, pretty much for the over.
Yeah, well, to the left-hander.
Yeah,
to the big side.
Got you. There's Wood, left arm around the wicket. Well, that's just run down towards short third by Safe Zabe. Takes his bottom hand off the bat. Picked up by Danny Lamb to get through for 1. Well, that would mean potentially the plans change now. 127 for 5.
Yeah, I think the plan here would be use a wicket to right-hander now. Maybe take some pace off, but number 7, Tom Taylor, first ball. As a quick bowler, you're probably getting greedy and thinking Stump's first ball here. But he's got a leg side dominant field here, every man out on the leg side, so the line will be straight. We'll see what length he goes with.
Long on, deep mid wicket, deep backward square leg. Wood, left arm round the wicket, balls. It is short, and it's okay. It's taken by Phil Salt. The umpire signals 1 for the over. 127 for 5. Wood into his third over. Richard Gleeson's got 2 left. 1 for 7, Gleeson. It's Wood in again to Taylor, who's forced to defend and pushes it out into the offside. No run.
As the innings has gone on and the ball's got softer, it definitely looks trickier to score. Slow balls have started to hold up. Bit of turn from the spinners as well. Just shows how crucial the power play is, and Lancs will obviously have to get off to a good start in the second innings.
And Northants potentially having to kind of readdress what they think is a realistic score. Is that kind of a flexible thing through the course of an innings? Here's Wood in, step to the leg side, shivelled up towards long on for 1 run. Taylor off the mark with that, 128 for 5.
I wonder how overrated ones are here. You know, something I've always thought about for a while, but if you've got a left-hander going the way Safe Zabe's going, and he's obviously accustomed to the wicket now, do you have him facing all 6 balls rather than your number 7 coming in and trying to attack the long side really against a bowler of Luke Wood's quality.
2 balls left. Wood bowls, and that's steered down to Jennings at wide third man for a single, 36 on 29 for 5.
I wonder if that creeps into the game someday, where you just turn down ones just because you've got the favour of the short leg side in your favour, or whether you fancy a bowler, whether you just think, you know what, I'm going to take this guy down. So I wonder if that comes into the game over the next few years.
So you would turn down signals just because the bigger game plan would merit it.
Yeah.
Wood in, bowls. Oh, and he's cleaned up Taylor. He may have dragged it onto his stumps, I'm not so certain. He got himself in a position to try and reverse it and made a bit of a mess of it. And Wood picks up the wicket.
I mean, you've had Taylor there face 4 balls for 1 run. Even if Zabe hits one of those balls for a boundary and sees 2 dots, he's making more use of it than the number 7. Yeah, but it's a brave thing to do. You're putting a lot of pressure on yourself. But credit to a bowler there. I thought he's bowled an excellent over. He's used the wicket. His lines have been good.
I mean, you sometimes see it towards the end of a game, final over a match, whatever. And there's set batter, new batter at the other end, and they'll turn down signals because he's the fellow that needs to try and win it. So you have seen that situation, but you're thinking of actually doing it at any point during the game.
Yeah, and if I'm Luke Wood there, and if I'm bowling, you actually want the right-hander on strike, because even if he gets 1, then it's another ball of the over gone, which will mean less damage in the over when they're trying to go hard. So everyone has their own opinions on it, but I think it's something which could be introduced in the game pretty soon. But like I said, as a batter, you're putting that extra little bit of pressure on yourself. Zabe might not really fancy that at the moment. Nothing wrong with a little red inker at the end of the game.
Penultimate over this. Gleeson back into the attack. Balls hammered through the offside. It is picked up by Tom Hartley. He's watching it carefully as the ball bounces and bobbles its way towards him. Hit through for 1. Zabe moves on to 37. 130 for 6, and Graham White, the new batter. And Gleeson with 1 for 8, and it was an absolute beauty, wasn't it, the wicket?
And it's nice to see. He's obviously had a lot of time out of the game, but he looks to be back fully fit, bowling as quick as he has done. And yeah, fast bowler's dream, that seeing the stumps of that ground.
He's over the wicket and bowling, and it's full on off stump, and it's squirted into the offside by White. It's bouncing its way up towards Luke Wells. And he's through for a single. Well, that's all right, isn't it, for White? Get a run, get off strike. You've got to get Zabe on strike here for most of it. 37 from 30.
Yeah, and against the left-hander Zabe, you're just thinking damage limitation now, try and cut off his boundaries. He's got a leg side field, probably look to go into the wicket, maybe pace off.
Gleeson in. It is a short ball, banged in by Gleeson. Zabe just steps the leg side, tries to uppercut it through to the keeper, no run. He's mixed it up a little bit here, hasn't he, Gleeson?
Yeah, and his lines have been good to both of them.
130, 146, with 3 balls remaining of the 19th over. Gleeson bowls again. That's chipped away through the onside. And they come back for 2. They will. Throw comes in from Dane Villas. Safe Zabe moves on to 39, 133 for 6.
Been good bowling this from Gleeson here. His lines have been good. He's been tucking up the left-hander, making him hit to that side. Boundaries look hard to come by outside of the power play.
4 off the over so far and 2 balls left. Gleeson bowls. He does go big. He does go leg side. Has he got enough on it? He has. Over the top of deep backward square leg, where Stephen Croft was setting himself to do something spectacular, but then quickly realised that's too high for him. It's gone for 6, 139 for 6.
It's some shot that I don't think you realise how big that boundary actually is. So for him to clear it, he's obviously got the assistance of the wind there, but some hit. Maybe just a little bit of lack of concentration from the bowler there, just with that big side, which can happen. I always find when you bowl into the longer side, sometimes it's a lot harder because your thinking can be very vague, as opposed to having to bowl to a short leg side where you know you've got to obviously get it outside the off stump or whatever. But yeah, you'll obviously want to close the over out here.
I think we've lost the ball. New ball, please.
Has it gone under that stand?
I think he has.
This is where, as a bowler now, you do not want to see any gold on the ball. You want it to be as old and soft as possible.
Stephen Croft went looking for it. Did his best. I think it's rattling its way underneath underneath the stand. Well, Gleeson's got a different ball in his hand. Final delivery of the 19th. He's in and bowling. And Zabe hits it to mid-off and gets through for a single. Jennings fields, so he'll be on strike for the final over of the innings. Safe save. 46 from 34 is a terrific knock. 140 for 6. What would you take as a fast bowler now? Luke Wood, what would you be happy with last over of the innings?
I'd say anything under 10 runs here.
Okay.
As a Northants player, you're probably looking at getting over 150. I'd say 150 is probably par. It can be chased down if the batters have a day out, but at the same time, I think it's very much defendable if the bowlers get off to a good start.
Party's starting to liven up a little bit. Out towards our left-hand side. He's a bank holiday after all. Big shot from Zabe, but long on's underneath it. Oh, and got to it, but couldn't keep it, Tim David. Great effort. Spilt the ball as he hit the deck. And Safe Zabe comes back and adds 2 to his total. 48 to him now, 142 for 6.
Moved across a long way there. I wonder if there's any voices in Luke Wood's head saying, right, let me hit leg stump here, just get a little greedy. Good effort there from Tim David.
Yeah, it was. Made a lot of ground up, got something on it, but just couldn't keep a hold of it. Wood back in, step across the stumps. Zabe goes through the onside, and Hartley takes the catch.
No ball.
It has, yeah. Signalled as a no ball. And now the realisation for the supporters. Tom Hartley's like, oh my word. Quite happy with that. Took a good catch. Sun shining in my eyes. No ball, and it's a free hit as well.
He's drawn the short straw there, Tom Hartley. You can see the experienced lads on the other side of the ground. Liam Livingston, Stephen Croft. They've played here before, haven't they? Stay away from that, son.
50 up there for Safe Zabe. 50 off 36 is a brilliant knock. 4 fours and a 6. This is a free hit at 146 for 6. Wood in, bowls, hammers it down the ground. Can Tim David get around and cut that off? He can. He'll come back for 2. And moves on to 52 not out. 148 for 6. Well, he's trying to open up that shorter boundary, isn't he? Safe Zabe. Looking out towards the building site. Lancashire got it guarded with a kind of wide long on and a deep mid-wicket. 2 of the tallest lads on that boundary as well. Wood in and bowls, and he ramps the ball away and down towards the boundary, and Gleeson will just have to chase after it to fetch it. Because that's 4. Inventive stuff here from Safe Zabe, who's having a really good game for Northants. 152 for 6. Do get to that 150 mark as well. Still with 3 balls left.
He's played really well here, Safe Zabe. He's timed his innings to perfection almost. Does look a tricky wicket, but it shows if you get in on it and give yourself that chance, and you can always catch up later on.
56 from 38. 5 fours and 1 6. Wood in, bowls again. He steps right across his stumps and then tries to flick the ball out towards the leg side, but kicks the ground a little bit in frustration. Doesn't quite time it, and Gleeson's there to field it. He's showing Luke Wood all his stumps here, isn't he?
I'm telling you, I'd have fired one in at leg stump by now. I'd have taken the risk. I find even if you do it early in the over, then even if it goes out the park, then at least it will keep them honest for the rest of the over, so they know everything's not going to be outside that off stump.
152 for 6. Again, he steps across. Again, looking to try and hit it towards the leg side, but a big swing and a miss, and through to Phil Salt. So, game of cat and mouse here between the bowler and the batter. Luke Wood knows exactly where Safe Zabe's trying to hit it.
It looks like he knows exactly where he's going to bowl it as well.
Yeah. Final ball of the innings then. Safe Zabe, 56 not out from 40 deliveries, is a terrific innings for his side. What will Wood have? Last ball, here it is, swatted out through the offside. He's going to go through for 1. They might as well try and come back for 2. They didn't. And that is the end of the over. I think you are required downstairs for the interval. Saqib Mahmood, part of our commentary team tonight here at Emirates Old Trafford. The players are jogging off, and 1-5-3 for 6 is what Northampton have finished on. And I've got to say, that's a terrific innings from Safe Zabe. 56 not out. Actually, it might be 57 not out when that scorecard. It is 57 not out from 41 deliveries, 5 4s and 1 6. Brilliant knock from Safe Zabe, with contributions from Ben Curran on 37, Josh Cobb 24, Rob Keogh 18. But it's Safe Zabe that's dominated it there with that 57 not out. Wickets for Gleeson, for Livingston, for David, for Wells, 1 each for those 4. And Northampton Steelbacks get themselves up to 150. It took some doing, and in the end it took some kind of inventive, creative shots from Safe Zabe. So that's what Northamptonshire have finished on. The Steelbacks, after 20 overs, 1-5-3 for 6. Lancashire Lightning need 154 to win.
So it is 154 to win for the Lancashire Lightning after the Steelbacks innings of 153 for 6. The 2 people that you've been hearing a lot of are now going to be somebody that you can see, because Phoebe Graham and Saqib Mahmood are alongside me here. And first of all, Phoebe, your assessment of that total for the Lightning to chase, and I suppose if you think about what they've done batting first, they'll be fairly comfortable with what they've seen so far.
Yeah, definitely. I think Northampton are probably a few runs short on the total, and Lancs will be pleased with the first half there. So yeah, and hopefully they can follow a good win from the Thunder earlier today.
Absolutely right. And during that win for the Thunder, 2 exceptional run-outs from the run-out specialist that you described yourself as earlier. So perhaps you can tell us exactly what Luke Wells managed to do earlier, because that seemed to me to be a bit of a turning point, bearing in mind the partnership that preceded it.
Yeah, definitely. It was a brilliant turning point for Lancashire, and Wells just picked up the ball, moving, hit the ball, direct hit. It was absolutely fantastic. So great piece of fielding, and often it's moments like that that do change the direction and momentum in a game.
And Saqib, it was the kind of regularity of the wickets. We talk about it a lot, don't we? But if you're getting those wickets regularly in T20, you stem any kind of momentum the backing side have.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think it's a type of wicket where it's definitely hard to start. But it did show in Safe Zabe's case that if you play yourself in, you can catch up later on in the innings. But I thought the bowlers bowled incredibly well throughout that middle period, but might have just got away at the back end. But 150, you'd still take that.
Yeah, safe save with a 57 or 41, but you're right, it took that kind of anchoring innings, the kind of innings that you don't necessarily associate with T20 cricket, from somebody who's not opening and sitting there and playing and having everybody playing around him. So if Lancs have something like that, you figure that they'd have enough of the power around him?
Yeah, absolutely, but I think the power play is crucial here. It looked, with that hard new white ball, it looked quite easy to score. So if we can attack the power play as well, I think you don't have to take as many risks throughout the middle then.
And what did the girls say about the batting earlier on? Because it wasn't necessarily as easy as it has been on this pitch before. It is a used pitch, so difficult, as you both have been saying, to get going. So is it important to be patient? Because I think the girls had to be earlier.
Yeah, definitely, and I think spin is a strong option, as Lancashire used a lot of spin within their innings. It slows the pace of the game down. Livingstone, Fletcher contain the batters, so I think it'll be a case of playing themselves in, but like Satch says, power play will be so important.
And getting ahead of it as well, because if it is, 154 to chase, if you get a good power play, you'll be ahead of it and you'll be able to calm down a little bit from 7 overs onwards.
Definitely, and the way Sol Keaton's been batting with Tim David and Liam Livingstone to back up, I think Lancs have got an awesome shout in winning this game in less than the 20 overs.
And Saqib, just finally, I suppose when you're chasing a manageable total, we said it about the Thunder earlier on, it's about how you manage it. You don't have to necessarily win it in those 6 overs, but if you get yourself ahead of the game, there's such value in that.
Yeah, absolutely, and I think having played here before, if you fall behind the game in those 6 overs, it means taking risks in the middle, which, as we've seen that innings, is quite hard on a wicket like this. So you'll see Northants trying to limit as much as they can in terms of scoring in that first 6 overs. But look, we've got the types of Liam Livingstone and Tim David who can come in the middle and make batting look easy on the toughest of wickets as well.
Yeah, maybe not always power, sometimes patience is the game. But to you both, thank you very much indeed. We'll see you both a little bit later. Enjoy the second half and commentary with Scott. It is, of course, Jubilee weekend. Festivities going on around the country and including here at Emirates at Old Trafford. And, of course, the Queen is the patron of Lancashire County Cricket Club in her role of Duke of Lancashire. So let us find out if there's somebody suitable that Carla has found.
So if you couldn't have guessed, I am in the party stand, and I can only speculate, but that perhaps the real reason why the Queen didn't attend her own Jubilee today is because she's here in Lancashire, although she is apparently at the bar getting a burger, which is a sentence I never thought I would say. But guys, you have absolutely won Best Fancy Dress. You guys look absolutely incredible. Why have you decided to come to, where have you come from and why have you decided to come here today as the Guards and the Queen, wherever she is right now?
He's getting married. He's getting married in July, so that's why we're dressed like this. Unfortunately, you haven't seen him here in his full regalia, but, well, we're his best friends, that's why we're here.
And how long has the day been going on for? Have you just been at the cricket? What else? I mean, how long did it take to... The buttons are absolutely magnificent. And the hats, how much is homemade?
Absolute mere minutes to get ready. But we've been on the beers for a while now. Several hours. Yeah, went to Six's Bar. We're having a good time still. Yeah. So, yeah.
And enjoying the cricket? Good first half, I think?
Yes. Yeah. Cricket is fantastic, yeah.
Good life. And is the Queen enjoying her day so far? That's obviously the main question, I guess. Oh. So she will be a while.
She's paying for the burger.
She will be a while.
I don't know how she's paying for the burger, but she's having a good time.
There we go. If anyone has seen a Queen running away with a burger from the bar, it may be stolen. So I'll leave you all with that. We've all had a great day celebrating Jubilee weekend, and I think we're going to carry on for this second innings as well. I think I might try and stay here and join the party.
Hi, I'm Keaton Jennings, a batter at Lancashire Cricket Club, and we are here on the sportsbreak.com terrace at Emirates Old Trafford. And as you can see behind me, we're really close to the pitch. We've got sofas, park benches, and a lovely bar in the corner. Emirates Old Trafford will be absolutely bouncing during every game day, so come down with sportsbreak.com and enjoy your day.
Lanka. So Keaton Jennings and Phil Salt to open up the batting for Lancashire Lightning. Under the lights and the setting sun here at Emirates Old Trafford. 154 is the target for Lancashire Lightning to win this T20 Blast fixture and to make it 4 wins on the bounce to start the competition. It's played 4, 1-3, tied 1 to send them top of the group. So 154 is the target for Lancashire to win the T20 Blast fixture here at Emirates Old Trafford. Got Josh Cobb to open the bowling for the Steelbacks, and Phil Salt on strike. And he's hammering the ball away into the offside for no run. Scott Reed, Phoebe Graham and Saqib Mahmood, your commentary team tonight. And Cobb is in and bowling to Salt, and that's heaved away through the onside. He might get 4, he does. His 2 fielders on the leg side boundary. It's got in between them both, Phoebe Graham.
Yeah, it split the 2 fielders there on the leg side, and again, similar to what we saw in the Lancs innings, neither of them look particularly interested. They've jogged through, but I feel like if one of them would have committed, then that could have been a 1 or 2.
I do like it when the cricketers have to go on their hands and knees and climb under a cover to fetch the ball. There's something lovely about it. It's a professional sport, but don't worry about it. I'm on my hands and knees. I'll find it.
Brings you back to reality.
It does, doesn't it? 4 without loss. Cobb, just pulls away. I tell you, Cobb's got some fancy bowling boots on here, aren't they? Look at those. Kind of turquoisey colour. He's in and bowling to Salt. That's hit down towards Cobb, who feels off his own bowling.
Yeah, I think he's just got a Puma trainer that he's got spiked up.
Yeah, Bobby Dazzlers, those, aren't they? Salt trying to work it to the onside, sent back. Trying to actually play it out towards point, rather. Sent back, throw came in. Good job he was sent back.
Yeah, I don't think there was a run there, but Phil Salt was very eager to get off strike. It went direct to backward point's hands, and Keaton luckily levelled, as always, sent him back.
Well, this just loops up over the top of the bowler towards mid-on for a quirky-looking single.
I think that is what has happened with the spin bowlers, is that, and you've got to remember now, this pitch has had, it's going into its 101st over. It's been a lot of cricket played on this wicket, and I think the spin will see a variation of bounce, and it's just a case of knowing what your options are. He was quite safe there, popping it over the bowler's head. I don't think it would have been a choice of shot, but he's away with it.
I reckon he practices that in the nets. Final ball of the first over, 5 off it so far. Keaton Jennings on strike for the first time. As Cobby's in and bowling. And that's eased away behind square on the leg side. But it's stopped by the Curran. It's Ben that plays for Northants. It's the end of the first over then, 5 without loss. Well, we're on the big screen. We better sit up and look like we're looking proper. Yeah, look like we're behaving ourselves and not just kind of casually just slumped in our seats watching the game. 5 without loss, 1 over gone.
That's the thing, when you're on radio, you forget that the Lancs TV stream is also catching you at every moment.
So you're never more than a few seconds away from a camera when you're inside Emirates Old Trafford with these guys. They've got a camera everywhere.
I've noticed that. They are very good.
So Salt on strike. Going to see Sanderson bowling from the Statham end. He's got a deep square leg and a deep point. Here comes Sanderson in a balls. That's muscled out through the onside by Salt, out towards deep mid-wicket. And he comes back and adds 2 to his total. He moves on to 7, as indeed do Lancashire Lightning. He's scored all 7 runs so far.
We speak about it a lot, but the wicket is very central, and it's a big boundary out there to mid-wicket and cow. And Salt hasn't quite got hold of it, but because in the power play, you've got to take advantage of only 2 fielders out, and is safely guided that to mid-wicket, and it's just stopped in the ground, really. 1 bounce and stopped dead.
Just plugged in the ground.
Look, that's the word I was looking for. It's plugged in the ground.
It is. I can hear in the background a bit of the T20 anthem being sung. And it's Sanderson to Salt, and that's flicked out again through mid-wicket for 1 run. Moves to 8. There's loads of stuff going on around the ground, and and I felt this on Wednesday as well. It's a really, really good atmosphere. It's a really friendly, family atmosphere. There's plenty going on behind the stands, and different entertainment and stuff for kids to do. It's not just coming to the cricket. There's all the, especially if you've got a double header, it's a long day. There's a lot, you don't necessarily have to sit and watch every ball of both matches, and there's all sorts of side activities taking place. It's a really good day out. Sanderson to Jennings. And that's eased away through the offside for 1. 9 without loss.
Yeah, it is awesome as you walk around Emirates at Old Trafford. There's live music. I was carrying my bag to my car quickly as I changed over into some commentary kit. And there was some wickets and a blow-up sort of station where the kids were bowling into as well. So there's all sorts to keep everyone entertained. It's a lovely atmosphere around Emirates Old Trafford.
It is. Everyone's happy. It's a bank holiday. It's a bonus day off, isn't it? It's Salt pulling the ball away through the onside, out towards that deep square leg boundary. Moves on to 9. 10 without loss.
That's just a shorter delivery there from Sanderson, trying to do what Luke Wood and Gleeson did so well in that first half, bumping the bouncers, bumping the batters, but actually too short and giving Phil Salt freedom to throw his hands through it. Just a simple run.
10 without loss. Sanderson around the wicket. It's hit firmly by Keaton Jennings, but on the bounce back to the bowler. And there is no run. Sanderson, 8 wickets in the Blast this season. For the Steelbacks, he's an experienced campaigner, Ben Sanderson. Plays all formats for Northants.
Yeah, I think they've got a reasonable bowling attack. I think they'll just be a little bit disappointed with the amount of runs that they scored, because they went at a really constant rate throughout and no one really kicked on to help them get that one.
Sanderson bowls again, swatted out to the onside by Keaton Jennings, but a good stop by Graham White at mid-wicket. And there's no run. End of the second over, 10 without loss, Lancashire Lightning. That target of 154 to win.
Yeah, and like I said, they didn't have anyone that would kick on to help them get that 170, 180, which I think would be a really good score on this wicket. So Lancashire, with the batters that they've got and the form that they've got, will be feeling really confident here. And it is a case of these first 6 overs, Northants really trying to steal a couple of wickets so that they can really get on top of Lang. So it'll be interesting to see what happens in the next 4 overs, because I think these are going to be a critical 4 overs to the rest of the game, given that they're only chasing 154 here at Emirates Old Trafford.
Yeah, it's not a monster total in T20 cricket, but it is, as we've mentioned a couple of times, it is a well-used pitch now. Big boundaries. They've got runs on the board, the Steelbacks. Taylor's in and bowling, and Salt is through for a single, rocking back and top edging it over the keeper. Moves on to 10. 11 without loss.
Yeah, the bumpers coming through from Northants, they just don't look as quick. I think it just shows how dangerous our seam attack is with Wood and Gleeson at the moment, and how quick they're bowling through. The bouncers Phil Salt's taking head height, whereas these just aren't quite getting up for Northants.
Taylor from the Anderson end. Jennings on strike. Balls to Jennings. Oh, he's trying to scoop that over the keeper and down towards the boundary, and he gets himself all tangled and twisted up. Ends up in the dirt.
That is your classic, where the paddle shop just doesn't work. And both third and fine are up. Taylor's bowling with pace on the ball. So it is a good option for that boundary, and Keaton plays the sweep shot really well, but it's just snooker cube that I nearly got caught at point. It could have been a disaster.
It could have all unravelled very quickly, that. Yeah. Taylor in balls. That's pulled by Keaton Jennings. Out towards deep square leg. And he goes through for 1, moves to 2. Whenever he plays that type of shot, Keaton, he always tends to end up in a slight tangle on the floor.
It does look good when you get it right, though, doesn't it? And I think a lot of people do that shot for their ego more than anything. And as a fast bowler, there's nothing worse than you've just run in 20 yards and someone just gently puts the bat in front. Like, thank you very much. A little paddle down for 4.
Taylor to Salt. Pivots onto the back foot and pulls the ball away towards deep backward square leg.
I think that's a much stronger option. That potentially 5 yards either side could be 4. He's just hit that ball really hard, followed strong shot through down to square.
13 without loss. We're in the 3rd over. T20 fixture, Lancashire Lightning against the Northamptonshire Steelbacks. Lancashire have been set 154 to win. And to make it 4 wins on the bounce. Jennings is gone. Taylor bowls him. Jennings looking to swat it through mid-wicket. And his off-stump is leaning back at a rather awkward-looking angle. And Lancashire lose their first wicket in the 3rd over, 13 for 1.
That ball's just come through, hit top of off stump, and Keaton's been caught out playing across the line there. It's definitely an option in the power play, and I think sometimes you can't blame the batters in the top order sort of going after those balls, but he's played across a straight one there and just been caught out.
Northampton strike early. 13 for 1. Stephen Croft, the new batter. They have been a little flexible with their batting lineup in the Blast this year.
I saw on Wednesday Livingstone went in at 3 again. So I thought, oh, maybe this is a solid 3.
Obviously not.
But they're not. They've changed it again. So, yeah, 3 is a moving 3. I think we came up with 3 or 4 reasons why, didn't we?
Probably none of them are right.
No, but it's good to think that we're the management making decisions, isn't it?
It's a movable 3 for Lancashire Lightning at the minute. They're mixing it up a little bit. Stephen Croft on this occasion. 1 ball left in the 3rd over. Tom Taylor striking for the Steelbacks. On the back of a good win themselves. Good start to the Blast. 2 wins from 4, currently 3rd with 5 points. Taylor bowls. That's edged down to 3rd man. I might be doing him a disservice. Maybe he's opened up the face and steered it deliberately down there. I don't think Tom Taylor reckons he has done with the way he's going back to collect his cap from the umpire. End of the 3rd over, 17 for 1.
I think even as a bowler here, I'm going to say Croft has played that down to 3rd man. Yeah, it's just open of the face of his bat. He knows it's not a slip-in, that's not a risk at all. And actually a very good shot, very good game awareness to know that 3rd is up and in the ring. 4 runs to Stephen Croft. Great start.
Recently passed 4,000 T20 runs for Lancashire. The first player to do it for Lancashire. 4,000 T20 runs for one club.
That's amazing. I wonder where he puts them all. Where do you put them?
Stephen Croft. He's like Mr. Lancashire, isn't he?
I know, I bet there's only a handful. Well, we saw Samit Patel for Notts has played in the 20 years of the Vitality Blast. Stephen Croft is 19, I think, was it?
I think he said 19, yeah.
So there's only a handful of these stalwarts around.
Here's Neesham. He bowls to Salt, and that's punched to mid-on. They get through for a single, moves on to 12, 18 for 1. Stephen Croft, his captain says, I'm always going to pick Stephen Croft, at least in the squad, and I'm not the oldest. Dame Bella said. I quite like it when you speak to one or two of the younger Lancashire players and they talk about watching Stephen Croft when they were kids.
Oh.
Like Rob Jones says something similar. Like, I used to watch him, he was my favourite player when I was a kid. 18 for 1. Neesham balls, and that's worked away into the onside. This should be a sharp single, pick up and throw towards the bowler's end, trying to run Croft out.
Yeah, not quite the piece of fielding of Luke Wells earlier today, and that could have been close, but it looked like a reasonably safe single there. Dropped short in at mid-wicket, targeted the stumps, just missed them.
Don't be so modest. Not quite the feeling of Luke Wells or Phoebe Graham.
Or Phoebe Graham, who got 2 run-outs earlier today.
Don't be modest. 19 for 1. There's Neesham to Salt. That's worked away with plenty of bottom hand through mid-wicket. And they come back for 2 as well. Stephen Croft having to take cover as the throw comes in again towards his end. Worried for a second the ball might just clatter into him. Salt moves on to 14, 21 for 1.
It's great running from Salt and Croft out there in the middle. I don't think they'll be missing out on any 2s. The way the 2 of them run between the wicket is brilliant, and said it before, probably been said many a time, you need to run that first one hard at Emirates, Old Trafford. It's such a big ground with the pockets and width of the ground.
Neesham over the wicket, balls. Salt hammers it down the ground for 4. Don't need to run on that occasion. Straight back from where it came from.
It's a fantastic shot from Salt. Stand and deliver. Not moved his feet, but just straight back, straight batted it down the ground, past the bowler, past mid-off. Lovely piece of batting there from Phil Salt.
Moves on to 18 from 13 deliveries. Lancashire Lightning 25 for 1. 2 balls remaining of the 4th over. There's Neesham. And the balls, and Salt tries to carve the ball away, but in the end, playing a miss and through to the keeper. And there's no run.
No, it looked a little bit quicker there from Jimmy Neesham. I don't know whether after being hit there for 4, he just put his back through it a little bit more. There's chance of, oh, lanky.
It's just starting to liven up a little bit, isn't it?
It's starting to feel a bit like a bank holiday weekend here at Emirates Old Trafford.
Absolutely does, yeah. Neesham balls. Salt off the hip. Runs here behind square on the leg side. And there'll be 2 of them. To Salt, who moves to 20. 4 overs gone. 27 for 1 here at Emirates Old Trafford in the Blast fixture. On a beautiful evening. I mean, the wind is still quite strong. You can see that on the flags there on the roof of the pavilion, but it could not be more picture perfect, really. We've got a great view peering down the pitch from the 3rd level of the media centre. Blue sky above us, little breeze flapping the flags, but bright blue sky, and floodlights are beaming down. It looks an absolute picture, it really does. There's a good crowd in, as there was for the first match. Making the most of their Good Friday. Happy days, long weekend.
Yesterday was off as well, wasn't it?
It was, yeah.
Yeah, what a dream, hey?
Absolute. Sanderson balls. Croft drives away through the offside for 4. As soon as it got past the infield, Phoebe, it had 4 on it, I think.
Yeah, that was a lovely shot there. Again, another stand and deliver. Not a lot of foot movement, just using the power and the bat speed to hit through extra cover there. Brilliant shot there from Croft.
31 for 1. I've got a feeling we could be in for a good rendition of the T20 anthem a little bit later on. They'll save it towards the end of the Lancashire innings. Could be in for a good sing-song later. Sanderson to Croft. He's wanting runs again. The opposite got a man sweeping on that cover boundary. And Croft just gets a single. Moves on to 10. 32 for 1.
they're definitely playing all the big anthems here at Emirates Old Trafford. It's chanting happening non-stop. Jubilee weekend.
122 more runs needed. This is flicked by Salt. Down to fine leg for 4.
Yeah, it's a lovely shot from Salt there. Just guided that one through fine leg. Little bit full on the leg stump and punished the ball with fine leg in the ring. Nice and easy 4 there for Salt. Free delivery. It was would have been quite easily a wide, so he's just flicked his hands through that. It's a lovely shot for 4.
36 for 1. And Salt this time beaten by Sanderson.
I think I'd just seen as well Birmingham Bears lost today, so that's put Lancs top of the table with a game in hand.
They are
for
top,
the
yeah.
Northern group as such.
Yep, 3 wins from 4, 7 points. The Birmingham Bears are second, played 5, won 3, 6 points. A defeat for the Bears at Worcestershire. This is played out towards backward point and there's no run. Again, that was a high-scoring game. Worcestershire Rapids 217 for 5. Brett D'Oliveira making 71. And then Birmingham Bears 202 for 8.
Oh, nice, good chase then. Bet there was lots of partying there. They must have started early so they could send the fans on the road for the session.
A night out in Worcester. Sanderson in. Salt again drills it firmly into the offside. Pick up and throw towards the keeper's end. They have safely got through for 1. End of the 5th. 37 for 1 after 5. So yes, so defeat for Birmingham Bears. Worcestershire Rapids winning by 15 runs. But Yorkshire Vikings playing Durham at Headingley. Durham 207 for 8 from 20 overs, and the Yorkies in reply 54 for 1 in the 4th. And Derbyshire Falcons against the Notts Outlaws. Obviously this is just the group that Lancashire and Northamptonshire are in. Derbyshire 174 for 8 coming towards the end of their 20. They're playing the Notts Outlaws in Derby. Phoebe Graham has left us and Saqib Mahmood is back alongside me. What do you reckon then? 154? Fancy it?
Yeah, I mean, to be fair, I think Northampton bowled quite well here, Tom. Haven't given Lancs a great deal to hit. They've mixed the pace up pretty well. But short leg side to right-hander could be a big over this.
It's Taylor to Salt. He's going leg side out towards that deep mid-wicket region. And the cheers will tell you that the ball rattles into the fencing in front of the building site. 4 runs.
Yeah, you know, you say this is usually the hardest over to bowl, the 6th over, and I'm surprised they started that far end actually, because we've got a lot of right-handers lower down the order. If it does go down to the wire, you don't want that side to be the side you're defending last over.
Salt 29 of 20. Having a bit of fun tonight, as indeed are the supporters inside the ground. Taylor bowls again, full and wide of off stump, and hit to mid-off. Right, Cobb fields. And they're through for 1. Salt to 30 now, 42 for 1. Brings Stephen Croft back on strike. Croft 10 from 4. It's good fun to watch, isn't he, Phil Salt?
Yeah, he only goes one way, doesn't he?
He does.
He has been a great addition to the changing room. Off the field as much as on it. He's a quality performer on the field.
Taylor to Croft. Sliced straight to point. And Croft departs. And Lancashire Lightning lose their 2nd wicket. It's a good catch by safe save. It was hit firmly by Croft, but barely had to move with his hands above his head to take the catch. Croft out for 10.
Yeah, they had the 2 men out leg side, cow corner and deep square leg. Croft trying to use the pace, hit over that infield on the offside, just picked out the man.
10 for Croft, second wicket for Northamptonshire Steelbacks. And here comes Liam Livingstone, fresh from top scoring on Wednesday in the game against Derbyshire, making 75 in Lancashire's 219 for 6. He's already chipped in with the ball as well in this match. He's picked up 1 wicket. Bowled his 4 overs, 1 for 21.
It's a handy cricketer to have in your side. Gun fielder, leg spin, off spin. I've seen him bowl pretty quick before in the second team as well at Scarborough once. And he can obviously hit the ball a mile as well. So, yeah, full package in white ball cricket.
He is in that category now, isn't he, of a player that you would buy a ticket to come and watch. And you look at who's in your squad and he'll be right up there.
Yeah, and that's some of the sixes he's been hitting. I always say to him it's because he's using proper bats now. He always used to have absolute planks when I saw him beforehand.
Taylor to Livingstone. Oh, that's down the leg side, taken by the keeper. Signalled as a wide by the umpire. McManus with the catch, the keeper for Northants.
But yeah, some of the sixes you see Livingstone hitting, especially in this last 12 months, they go a long way, and I was there for the one he hit at Headingley last year, and I'm not sure I'll see a bigger 6 hit, unless he hits another one bigger. But yeah, his striking over the last 12 months has been special.
43 for 2. Yeah, watch out in the stands when Livingstone's in the middle. He's up onto his toes this time. Oh, just steers the ball down backward of point. In comes a throw towards the keeper's end. Salt has to turn and go charging back. A lot happened there, and in the end, no run. No run was scored.
Something you see in the fielding drills, that hit it out, have a shy, back to the keeper's end.
This is the final over of the power play. So 2 balls left of it. Leg side is where the 2 fielders are positioned. Deep square, deep mid-wicket. And Livingstone played that as if it kept a little low as he defends it into the offside end of the over. No, it's not. 1 ball to go. 43 for 2. Just keep a little low or not? Just the way he kind of played it.
And you saw the one that was given a wide, just looked like it went through that a little bit quicker as well. I wonder if he's holding the ball across seam or not, but it's just starting to react differently off the wicket at the moment.
Taylor 2 for 13. A wicket in the over. He's in a ball into Livingstone. Oh, he's down the pitch. It's a swing and a miss. He's missed the stumps. It's beaten the keeper. It's down to the boundary. Oh, he's got a little something on it. He's given those runs. Well, it's a big yahoo, wasn't it, from Liam Livingstone? He'd be a bowler.
Exactly.
What are you doing? Why are you not a batter?
Not sure I had a choice.
Well, he's off the mark, Liam Livingstone, with that. And the bowler will feel as though he's a little unlucky that he's not seen the end on the back of Liam Livingstone. 47 for 2. 6 overs gone. So what do we think? Power play done. Lancashire okay at 47 for 2?
Yeah, I think it's all right. Obviously, you'd like 47 for 1, but it's always the case. But I think if these 2 can stick around for the next 5-6 overs, I think they'll score at a decent rate. It'll be interesting to see how it goes. Young leg spinner.
Here's Russell into the attack. And that's Salt off the back foot, muscling it away through the onside. Moves on to 31. 48 for 2. Yeah, looking forward to watching Russell bowl here. It's a heck of a challenge, isn't it, when you're facing these 2. And that's just played safely back along the ground by Liam Livingstone, and there is no run.
First time I've seen Russell bowl. I'm not sure how much cricket he's played beforehand, but
he's in and he's bowling, and Livingstone's up onto his toes and flashing the ball away through mid-wicket. And they come back for a second. Excellent running.
Yeah, I think that will be key. Is if you can run hard and get twos, try and push those fielders in to try and cut off that two. It'll give you the option to then take on the boundaries. But yeah, if we can keep getting twos to that big side, it'll be crucial.
Brings up the 50. 50 for 2. Halfway through the 7th. Russell balls forward again. Goes Livingston, just steering it out into the covers. Josh Cobb fields, and there's no run. He's got his long off and his long on back. He's a deep mid wicket. There's a deep backward square leg. Sweeper on the cover boundary. Bit of bounce as Livingston thinks about playing and then decides against it. He's 4 balls into his first over. He's gone for just the 3 so far. It's a good start from Russell, who's in and bowling, and Livingston off the back foot trying to work it down behind square on the offside, but fielded by Ben Curran. And that is a really good first over. It's gone for just 3. Right out the power play. 2 batters like to hit it. Good start.
Yeah, even for me, it's intimidating having someone like these two 22 yards away, but he's held his own there, and he's landed him pretty well that over. We used to get some good fizz on it. Looks a good pace. But this is where it's crucial now, and you've got Graham White, senior bowler in the attack, bowling to the shorter side. It'll be interesting to see how they take him on. The one good thing Northants had was throughout their innings they had a right and left hand combination out in the middle. But with 2 right-handers there, they'll probably look to attack one side.
50 for 2 after 7. Russell, 20. Going to be spin from both ends. Going to be White, the more experienced of the two, certainly. Salt pulls the ball away through the onside. Jogs through for a single. Moves on to 32.
Can't imagine we'll be tossing many up to these two.
Livingston on 6. There's White. Left arm around the wicket balls. Steered out through the offside. Jogs through for 1. 52 for 2. There's White. And again to Salt. And Salt trying to cut. Picked up just at backward point, and there's no run. This is kind of the second phase of the match now, isn't it? Through the power play, and Northants bring their spinners into the game.
They've gone quite well. They're building up some pressure here. You'd think something will give anytime soon, a boundary or a chance created.
White balls again. Salt going back and pulling the ball away through square leg for a single. 33 to him now, 53 for 2. Livingston back on strike. There's Graham White running diagonally across the umpire, left arm around the wicket. Livingston step towards him, and a little flick through mid-wicket for 1 run.
I reckon it's the quickest updating scoreboard on the county circuit.
It is lightning, yeah.
Sometimes when you're bowling, it says 4 before the ball's even gone to the boundary.
Final ball of the 8th. Here's White. This is swept. The throw comes in towards the keeper's end. And Salt, with that sweep, takes his total on to 34. 55 for 2 at the end of the 8th over. And if you were Northants, I guess you just perhaps try and replicate as well as you can do what kind of Lancashire's tactics are here.
Yeah, 99 off 72 as well. It doesn't look the hardest, but if you can keep building up pressure like they have done in the last couple of overs, only going for 8 runs, then chances will present themselves from Northant's point of view.
The young leg spinner to continue, making his Northamptonshire debut today. Was part of Gloucestershire's academy Played a bit of national counties cricket. Salt waits as he sends it down and drills the ball away through deep mid-wicket for 1 run. 56 for 2. He's in the game now. It's a good start, really encouraging start. Livingston down on one knee, goes high, but more height than distance. Caught. Livingston's gone for 8. What a special moment for Alex Russell. A wicket for Northants. And it's Liam Livingston, the man who's gone out. It's a terrific start from this young leg spinner. And Lancashire Lightning lose their 3rd wicket, 56 for 3.
Could you see something was going to give there? They built some pressure over the last 2 or 3 overs, and Livingston's tried to take him onto the long side and just held out to deep square leg.
That'll be a moment that Russell will remember for some time.
Yeah, I think he'll enjoy bowling on the wicket out here, but you know, there's a lot of spinners have had success on here. If there's a wicket you want to make your debut on, this probably isn't far off it. with a 90-metre leg side boundary as well.
Even with Salt and Livingston batting, you still do it. You still take it.
I think the percentages are in your favour. It's turning. It's a massive boundary. They'll look to take you on, but I think Dane Villas will be massive on this wicket just because he plays his reverse sweeps. He'll use the pace. And he'll manoeuvre the field, which will then present opportunities in different areas. So I think Dane will be key here.
Fascinating T20 game, really intriguing. At 56 for 3 in the 9th. Here's Russell, who's having an absolutely dream start. Balls to Villas. He goes back and nudges the ball away behind square on the leg side for a single. He's off the mark straight away, the Lancashire captain. 57 for 3 brings Salt back on strike. 97 needed for Lancashire Lightning. Salt just tickles it down towards short third and gets through for a single. 36 to him now, 58 for 3. Just the 3 runs off it and the wicket of Liam Livingston. He's got 2 balls left of his 2nd over. Here's Russell in and bowls. Villas again trying to turn it out towards the onside, but there isn't a run there. The keeper discards his glove as he goes sprinting round from behind the stumps to get to it. McManus. Final ball of the over. Russell to Villas, and he's muscled out through mid-wicket. Will be picked up in the deep, and just a 1 run. What a mighty impressive start to his Northants career. 2 overs, 1 for 7. Bowling here at Emirates Old Trafford. He's picked up the wicket in that over. Liam Livingston, the man he's got out. And Lancashire Lightning are 59 for 3. Salt on 36 and Villas on 2. I'm sure he'd have a few butterflies in his stomach, but I bet they've gone now.
Yeah, I think, you know, especially after you've taken a wicket, you start to get that little bit about you, a little bit of a strut comes out. Chest sticks out, and I think it'll be interesting to see if they hold it back at all for his last 2 overs, and maybe try someone like Rob Keogh that side to the long edge. But yeah, he's got off to a great start there, getting the wicket for Livingston.
Here's White. He'll start his 2nd over. Villas flicks the ball away off the pads out through square leg. Again, he goes hurtling through the 1st. With ambitions of coming back for 2.
You'll always see that with Dane Villas. Sometimes he's too fast for his own good. He's definitely not someone you want to be batting with in red ball cricket.
He's not short of energy, is he?
Nah, and he'll let you know that as well. And he'll let you know how old he is.
Yeah, yeah. He's White to Salt. That's cut away to the offside. 37 now to him. 61 for 3. Lancashire captain's back on strike. 93 required, 64 balls left. It's Graham White, left arm spin up for the Steelbacks. In a ball, Villas driving the ball through extra cover. Comes back for the 2nd, the throw comes in towards the bowler's end, trying to run Phil Salt out, but they have come back for 2.
Bowling nicely here, Graham White. You can see him taking all the pace off the ball, even with that short side, being brave. And then you've obviously got to take the risk from the other side.
White in and bowls, and Velas cuts. Wants to. Salt will have to come back, because Velas certainly is. And they do run too. Velas to 7 now, 65 for 3. Wonderful contrast from both ends. You've got the young kid on debut. You've got the old campaigner at the other end, Graham White. And there's Velas coming forward and just driving the ball safely along the ground. Picked up by Jimmy Neesham.
Reminds me a little bit of when I first started, seeing Stephen Parry one end and Matthew Parkinson sort of making his way into the side the other end as well. It's always nice having a senior bowler doing the hard yards the other end.
White, left arm around, bowls. Big appeal, he's gone. Salt's gone for 37, White fancied it straight away. And Lancashire lose their 4th wicket, 66 for 4. And the spinners for Northants, the left arm spin of White and the leg spin of Russell, working a treat here. He fancied that straight away, didn't he? He knew it. And the umpire says, yep, you're out. 66 for 4 after 10. It's a blow for Lancashire Lightning, losing Phil Salt. Looked like a pretty regulation decision in truth. And we're now going to see Tim David joining Dane Velas with the game in the balance. 88 off 60 is the equation for Lancashire Lightning. Talk about lads that can hit it. Here comes Tim David. He can give it a belt.
He can indeed, and I think he'll have to play quite a smart innings here. I was just looking to see when Northants lost their 4th wicket, and they were 106 for 4 off the 13th over. So in terms of rate, Lancashire are behind where Northants were. And it's proving to be a difficult wicket to bat on, isn't it?
It's been tricky. It's been hard going, hasn't it, for Northants? I mean, they've worked ever so hard to get to their 153, and this looks like tough going for Lancashire Lightning. They're going to have to run well here, aren't they? Here's Velas getting through the first, but just one. Tim David says to the captain, no.
I think Tim David might be sending him back a few times. Salt is quick, isn't he? The two of them running between the wickets make really hard twos look simple, don't they, with Velas and Salt? So I think David's just going to have to know his own pace here, because he's not the quickest.
He might be saying, no, skipper, you stay. Once enough.
Look, fella, if you want me to score runs, yeah. I'm not going to run those 2s and 3s.
67 for 4. So 87 off 59. Changing the bowling from that Anderson end. Heldrick coming into the attack. David off the back foot. Hammers it up towards long on for a single.
And this is where we did say in the Northants innings, no one really got going and cracked on, but it might be one of those wickets that you just have to dig deep and work really hard for your runs. So I think it's a case of both
This is Velas muscling the ball again through mid-wicket. Again, just one.
Yeah, both Velas and David working really hard and sweating out every single run here. I think that's where Lancs will be disappointed in their last 3 overs that were expensive in the end for them.
Just like Lancashire Lightning, Northants have got plenty of spinning options. It's cut down towards backward point. Sanderson tries to stop it. David does get 1, so he moves on to 2. 70 for 4 now. We're in the 11th. As Velas waits, he tries to run it down towards short third. Again picked up by Sanderson to get a single. 71 for 4 with 1 ball left of the 11th. got over so far. He's only gone for 5, just 5 singles. No boundary conceded. David tried to change that. He does change that. Smacks it over long on for 6. Stand and deliver stuff from Tim David. 77 for 4.
That was brilliant from Tim David. Stood still within his crease and just hit the ball with extreme power, flat bat, through to mid-on for 6. And it didn't even sound like it made full contact with that, did it? It didn't feel like it had come from the middle of his bat, but yet he still seemed to clear that first stand of the pavilion. The way he hits the ball, even on these wickets that are proven so difficult, is unbelievable.
77 needed off 54. White's going to continue into his 3rd over. Velas off the back foot, guides it away through extra cover for a single. And the young left-arm spinner there bowled a good over.
He did, yeah.
And gets hammered for 6 with the last delivery.
The way he started to move to play that shot, I thought he's going to get caught here. But no, Tim David, quick hands, hits the ball hard. Could do with him scoring a few now.
There's White from the Statham end balls. Oh, David goes big again. It's coming our way. Duck for cover. It rattles its way onto the TV gantry. It's a monster hit from David. 84 for 4 now.
That's absolutely huge from Tim David there. It's nearly come to us in the commentary box. We're ready to catch that. Ginormous, straight over the bowler's head. Class shot there with ultimate power. He's something else, isn't he, this fella?
Well, he's showing it's
simple, simple game.
Yeah. White bowls again, drives along the ground up towards Jimmy Neesham at long off for 1 run. Takes his total 1 to 15. 85 for 4. This is, I think, what Lancashire have lacked a little bit, I think, in the last year or two. Someone like this coming in a situation like this, giving them a bit of punch in the middle order.
Just takes an air of relief off the rest of the team, doesn't it? Even if you've got depth in the team, when you've got someone in the middle order with that power and strength, it also releases a bit of fear from the openers, and I think it.
There's White in and bowls. Vilas rocks back and cuts the ball out towards backward point. Ben Sanderson's everywhere.
Yeah, it definitely gives freedom to the rest of the team when you've got someone playing and hitting the ball so well.
85 for 4, 69 of 49. White coming to the end of his 3rd over. This is the final ball of his 3rd. Vilas will take it off the pads. Little flick out towards backward square leg, and he gets through for 1. Moves on to 13. He's nicked the strike as well, Dane Vilas. So 12 overs gone. 86 for 4. Katie there having to duck for cover.
Yeah, and Lancashire requires 68 off 48 balls. I think it'll be a really interesting run chase here at Emirates Old Trafford. Hard to call who will win this game, I think, at this stage. A good partnership from these two. If they stay around for the next 3 overs, I think the odds will be in Lancashire's favour.
Well, we could be in for another thriller. There's been some belting T20 games already. And here's Russell, who's having a dream start. He's in and bowling to Vilas, and that's pushed into the onside for 1.
If it's anything like last Friday night, it could be crazy.
Still not recovered. Absolute carnage, wasn't it? Now then, David's on strike. Steelbacks young leg spinners twirling his way in, and Balston off the back foot hits it down into the ground, picked up by Russell off his own bowling. No run. He's got a long off, long on, deep mid wicket, deep backward square leg, deep extra cover. David plays it a little uppishly. He's gone hurtling through for 1. He's going to come back for 2, and by the time the ball was caught up with it, the ball's breached the little discs, the 30-metre discs.
It's the perfect weighted shot on the onside there for one. With all the fielders on the onside out on the boundary, apart from short 45, it was Tim David and Dane Villas take on the bowler for the 2.
89 for 4. Russell balls again. Punched through extra cover by David. Keogh fields. David gets a single, moves on to 18. 90 for 4. Brings the captain for Lancashire back on strike. There's Russell. To Villas, swept. To backward square leg. Oh, wants 2, Villas. He's absolutely crackers. He's come back hurtling for a second. He moves on to 16, 92 for 4.
I think only Dane Villas would run 2 to that piece of fielding there. He's swept it directly to square that's behind the bat. Taking them on for 2.
How's he got 2? He might go again. Oh, the umpire gets out the way. This one's swept out towards deep backward square leg. Oh, it's gone for 4. And the party stand enjoy that. I don't think Tom Taylor enjoyed it too much.
No, he's just running onto that from square leg. Simple piece of fielding, and as he's rolled over, he's taken the ball with him, thrown the ball over the boundary line, and helped Villas there sweep his way into what then becomes a good over for Lancashire.
Villas to 20. End of the 13th. Big conversation here between the captain and Tim David.
Yeah, I think they'll be working out at what point do we go. At the moment, they're doing everything right in terms of rotating the strike, hitting the boundaries. And I think if they keep doing this for the next couple of overs, then reassess. Don't try and change anything too soon. Tim David's clearly got freedom, but he is also playing with his head, which is good to see.
58 required. 42 balls. The spin session's finished, back with some pace, and Sanderson into the attack. And that's hit firmly along the ground towards Jimmy Neesham for a single to David. He moves on to 19, 97 for 4. I was quite enjoying watching these 2 young spinners that Northampton have got, bowling from the Jimmy Anderson end. But they've gone back to Ben Sanderson, starting his 3rd over. Villas on strike. Villas eases this delivery away through the onside. Graham White comes up to field.
All the fielders now in Northampton pouncing on the ball. They look petrified that whatever happens, they're going to be taken on for 2, but not this time.
I suppose if you're on that boundary, the leg side boundary, you're not going to get plenty of stick because you've nobody there apart from a JCB digger.
There's the party stands that act like the 12th fielder.
Sanderson to David. Oh, David says, yes, please. Watch out the diggers. That's heading into the building site. And David gets 6 to bring up 3 figures for Lancashire. 104 for 4. He has absolutely hammered it.
That is huge from Tim David. It's out of the stadium. It's onto the road. Absolutely incredible again. He's whipped that from his legs. What looks like a gentle flick for any other ordinary batter, but Tim David blazes it with that simple flick of the wrists for 6.
If he finds this ball, and he gets player of the match.
The staff from the building site have gone to look for the ball.
I mean, that could
looks like a maze out there.
It's carnage in there.
It's gone onto the road.
It could be anywhere in there. Ah, now Graham White says go further back.
I think it's cleared.
You reckon it's out the ground?
I think it's out the ground.
Well, if it's out the ground, he needs to give up. I mean, it could be absolutely anywhere in there. These two reckon, Graham White reckons he knows where it. Oh, where's he going? It's a massive hole. Where's he gone? Oh dear. 104 for 4, sing a long time. Target of 154 for Lancashire Lightning to win this T20 Blast fixture. The party stand is in good voice. He's only gone and found the ball.
I wonder what shape the ball looks like now.
Well done. Good effort.
That's a fair find in the building site.
50 partnership as well, that. In the middle of all that, 50 off 39. 104 for 4. Goodness knows what state the ball is in, but Sanderson's got it back in his hand. Balls to David. It's cut away through the offside, and he gets through for 1 run.
Yeah, the energy's changed here at Emirates Old Trafford. It definitely feels like Lancashire are back on top. And with this partnership, 50 partnership up from Dane Villas and Tim David, if they can stay in for the next couple of overs, I think it could be an easy run chase.
49 of 38. It's drilled firmly away by Villas into the offside. It's a good stop by Josh Cobb. That was hit firmly. Got low down to his left on a couple of used pitches. That's a good stop, isn't it, from Cobb? Saves some runs for his team. All right, give that knee a rub.
Those horrendous bright blue and lime green shoes. No, I like a bit of flair, but I'm not into those.
Sanderson balls again. This time Villas does clear the infield, cutting off the back foot out towards deep point, gets through for 1 and moves on to 22. So 106 for 4. 14 overs gone. So 6 overs remain. It's 36 balls for Lancashire Lightning to get 48 runs to make it 4 successive T20 wins to start this year's group campaign against the Northamptonshire Steelbacks side, who have made a very good start themselves to the T20.
And an interesting fact is Northants were at exactly this point after 14 overs, 106 for 4, but they'd just lost their 4th wicket.
It's a good stat from you, isn't it?
So similar positions, but we've got Villas and David in.
Yeah, and a bit of extra bounce again as Russell will send down his 4th over. It's beaten by Villas and taken by the keeper. He's bowled 3 overs, 1 for 17. What a start for him. Villas will cut the ball out through the offside. There is a fielder scooping up the ball at deep extra cover. Villas moves on to 23. 107 for 4.
Yeah, tremendous figures so far from the leg spinner Russell. Just depends whether Tim David will destroy them this over.
Oh dear. Well, he's trying. He's hitting it out into the offside. Josh Cobb gives himself as much room as he can to allow the ball to bounce in front of him and stops it.
Cobb looks petrified after a similar shot being played to him, Villas, in the previous over and him stumping his knee.
108 for 4. Villas down on one knee, sending the ball out through the onside. Yeah, he's gone for 6. It is. He swept it in front of square towards the party stand, and they love that. It's gone for 6. 114 for 4.
That's a brilliant shot from Villas there. He's played to his strengths, got down on one knee, swept the ball through into the gap, mid-wicket, 6 runs. Clinical there from Villas and played to his strengths. Great to see.
Some fancy-looking shirts in that party stand. Look at that one. That's a bit of a Hawaiian number. Yeah,
they're definitely starting the party now.
That's an absolute beaut. 114 for 4. 40 off 32. And Villas working the ball through mid-wicket. Coming back for 2. Comfortable 2 for Dane Villas there. He almost stopped coming back.
That's a great 2 from Lance there. It's actually David that's called that second 2, and I think it just shows if you run hard, there are more runs out there than you think. It's really simple 2 there. It's not just Villas that can run them. The whole team's caught this bug.
116 for 4. Villas trying to slice the ball away into the offside, but picked up by Ben Curran at backward point. There's no run. And Alex Russell has got through his 4 overs. He's had a bit of damage in that last one, but blimey, what a way to start. A young man bowling here for the Steelbacks. 4 overs, 1 for 27. He can be mighty proud of his work tonight. He got the wicket of Liam Livingston as well. We've got the the guards in the party stand here. There's a chap wearing an inflatable crown. He's the king. Self-appointed, I'm sure. 5 overs left. 38 off 30. Saqib Mahmood's back alongside me. What do you reckon?
I think Tim David's changed the momentum here, hasn't he? And I wonder how much of that is to do purely of his height. His spinners are obviously trying to get the ball into the wicket, but your margin for error against a guy of Tim David's height, never mind how well he strikes it, is very little. You can see how well he was hitting the ball straight down the ground. I wonder how different that was to, you know, the lengths Graham White was bowling earlier.
So talk to me a little bit as the bowler, the challenge that you've got then when you're bowling to a guy that's Tim David's height or a guy that's Josh Bohannon's height.
I guess for Tim David, it's his reach,
okay,
which I've been on the back end of as well. Is you're trying to hide the ball outside off stump, and he's managing to reach those balls on the wide line as well.
Here's Neesham, and David just steers the ball ever so deliberately away to backward point, where Ben Curran does stop the ball, but David does get a single, moves to 28, 37 off 29 is the equation. So it does, as a bowler, it would mess quite a bit with your plans and your lines and length when you've got tall and short.
Yeah, exactly. And you know, if you're comparing Tim David and Josh Bohannon will play predominantly off the back foot. The same balls which Tim David will probably be able to play off the front foot now. That can obviously have an effect on certain ends and conditions and all of that.
It'll flick away through mid-wicket by Dane Villas, but just for one. Fair play to White and to Sanderson. They know they've got a battle on here when Villas flicks it out into that region, because he wants to, and they've come absolutely tearing up to try and prevent it. And they did.
I mean, you could see with that sweep in the last over, which Dane Villas hit for 6, you could see all the fielders 10 yards off the boundary trying to stop the 2, and all of a sudden he's hit one over their heads for 6. So, you know, great manipulation of the field.
36 off 28. Neesham to David, and he hits it through the offside for 1, off the toe end of the bat by the looks of it, as he gives it a rather quizzical look. Takes him to 29, 119 for 4. This unbeaten partnership worth now in excess of 50 runs between Dane Villas and Tim David. To say, it just feels like it's changed the kind of momentum of the match. It's like she kind of wrestled it back. Could be from more twist though. This is Villas pulling out to deep square leg. That's a terrific catch by White. Celebrates in front of the empty building site, but takes a good catch, Graham White. And Villas has gone, and Lancashire lose their 5th wicket. 119 for 5. Villas has gone for 32.
Villas will be disappointed with himself there, I think. It was obviously a high-risk option from Neesham going into the wicket to that short side, but yeah, Villas just couldn't get hold of it and picked out the man. Got a game on now here, Scott.
Luke Wells coming out to join Tim David. Well, the contrast in the games between, for example, Wednesday and tonight, we got 400 runs scored on Wednesday in the match. If you see a replay of that, it's a really good catch, isn't it, that? Celebrates to the JCB diggers.
Has he told him to shush? Did I see that right? Has he put a finger over his lips there?
Might have done. You keep quiet there. There's one bloke in the building site whose job is to fetch the ball when it gets hammered in towards the...
and get stuck into Graham White by the looks of it, if that celebration
must be, yeah. He's giving Graham White some stick.
I'm all for it. All for it. Make it hard for them.
119 for 5. So Luke Wells joins Tim David.
Have we got the new rules in place here, Scott, where the new batter has to face, or did they just not cross?
Not yet.
So they didn't cross it?
It's not crossed. I don't think that comes in until the end of this season.
Okay.
It's obviously, it's in the 100, isn't it, that?
Yeah, it's, I saw it was in the IPL. I'm not sure if it's in international cricket yet or whether it's in October, like you said.
I think it's October, yeah.
What do you think of that rule?
Yeah, I like it. You'll like it, won't you?
Big fan of it.
Yeah,
I think as a bowler, you should.
Well, imagine. Here's Neesham to Wells. It's played uppishly, but safe enough out towards square leg. It's off the mark straight away, 120 for 5. Yeah, I can imagine you'd be a fan of it.
Yeah, as a bowler, if you get a wicket, you don't want to have to suffer for it. You know, a lot of the time you see a wicket and they cross in the middle, but it doesn't really mean anything. You know, it doesn't affect the batting side a great deal. So, yeah, I think it's a great rule to come into the game.
34 off 25.
Got to give the bowlers a chance. Got to give us something.
Final ball of the 16th over. Here's Neesham. David's on strike. Taken off the pads out towards deep backward square leg. Watched all the way into the hands by Rob Keogh. End of the over. 24 balls left to get 33.
8 and over. Where's your money, Scott?
Money's on the batting team, but I'm not putting too much on it.
I think if Tim David stays in,
yep,
you'd like to think he'd take it on for us.
Are we at that stage yet where they would want to try and get the bulk of it done, or are we not quite there where they might say, let's see if we can try and get 15 or 20 off an over and try and get it all boxed off?
I think you've obviously got to pick your moment, and taking the long side on is probably not required at this stage. If you can take 6 off the over, and given you only need 8s, you're not falling behind the game too much. So I think, you know, this over they'll probably just look to play strong shots, try and take 1 off every ball, maybe 2, and then really target the other side. I think if you can get double figures off the other side, then it should close the game out.
And just after having spin from both ends, we've now got seam from both ends. It is Taylor. He's bowled nicely. He's into Tim David. That's flicked out through mid-wicket. The crowd want 2. Just take 1. David to 31 now. .122 for 5. So 32 to win, 31 to tie. Tom Taylor bowling for the Northamptonshire Steelbacks. He had a good day with the ball, hasn't he? 2 for 18.
Had a good day so far. Never speak too soon. One thing you learn as a bowler.
Wells waits. Here's Taylor in. It's off the back foot, punching the ball away through the offside for a single. Oh no, they'll come back for 2. The throw comes in. And it's a good second. Wells moves on to 3. 124 for 5.
Jimmy Neesham getting a bit of stick there on the boundary.
It's not the full party stand this year. It's kind of it's its mini sister, but it's still a lively, lively stand. Is that? Plenty in fancy dress. The old beer snake. Look at that beer snake. That's a great effort. That. All the empty beer glasses all stacked up. Going for 1 additional layer. Can it take any more, this beer snake, or will it all collapse? 30 off 22. Taylor to Wells. Down the pitch he comes. The ball just loops away into the onside, and Taylor has to field off his own bowling. And they get through for a single. Wells to 4. 125 for 5. Where's your kind of, say, worst place to field? You know what I mean? What would be the place would it be a Yorkshire game, for example, if you're playing in a Lancashire shirt? Would that be the place you think, oh blimey, I've got to go and field in front of the Western Terrace or something? Because that can get a bit lively, can't it?
Yeah, I did do the Western Terrace in 2019. I did it for 1 ball, I think, which was the 1 ball before Dane Villas called me on to come and bowl at the end when Pooran and Cole were whacking it all over the place.
Taylor to David, just nudged up to mid-on with the intent of coming back for a second, but there isn't on this occasion.
And even that 1 ball, I got a lot of stick, and there's 1 word in particular which I got called as I was running off, which I then may have said later on to the same people who called me it. But yeah, I remember that 1 ball. You get Western Terrace at Headingley is definitely, as a Lancs player, an area where you're definitely going to get the crowd stuck into. But I think as you get older and you start playing in front of the crowd more often, you tend to just accept it and crack on a little bit. definitely missed the crowds parts of last year and a couple of years ago.
Taylor to Wells. It's heaved out through the onside for 1 run. Moves on to 5. 127 for 5. Yeah, it was such a strange feeling, wasn't it? Watching, for example, that fixture, watching it on 2020 with nobody here was bizarre.
Yeah, it was. But even then, it still means so much. And I remember when we beat him here off the last over in 2020. You know, I've never played a game in front of a full house here at Old Trafford in a Roses game. I've done an international game against Pakistan, which was as loud as I've ever experienced. But I've never done a Roses game here.
There's Taylor with Tim David on strike. Oh, that'll be 4, I think. It will. It beats the infield between kind of short third backward point down to the boundary. That just takes the shine off what was up until that point a good over for Taylor, but a boundary off it. The final ball of it takes David on to 36 and Lancashire Lightning to 131 for 5.
Yeah, great over for the batting side there. Very low risk and still managed to take 10 off it.
3 overs left. That target is 154 for Lancashire Lightning.
You'd just like one big over here, wouldn't you, as a batting side? One big over, just kill the game.
Is this the one? Can you pre-plan it to that extent, or is it more instinctive?
I think it is instinctive. You know, they're in a position where they don't necessarily have to take the risk, but
so why take the risk?
But if you're in the dugout, you want, you know, the one over can kill the game. But if you have the intent, if the ball's there to hit, if you hit it out of the park, then it only takes one shot, really.
23 required, 18 balls left. Neesham has gone for 1 for 15 from his 2 overs, and he's going to be coming in from the Brian Statham end with Luke Wells on strike. Tall left-hander, waits for it, swings away through the onside. He might go here. He has. Graham White takes the catch, and Wells departs for 5. And Lancashire Lightning lose their 6th wicket, the first ball of the 18th over. Safe pair of hands, Graham White, out in the deep. And Neesham picks up his 2nd wicket, 131 for 6. It's a big boundary to hit, that.
It is, and I'd have liked, I wonder if he's thinking, if only I'd taken 1 and got David on strike. You know, you want to put the percentages in your favour. Now you've got 2 right-handers in. You know, this side is the side you want to be sort of taking down.
So 23 off 17 deliveries is the equation. Tim David in conversation with Danny Lamb. What is it? Kind of get me on strike type conversation?
I'd imagine so. Get David on strike. Maybe have a go at the last ball if Lamb's on strike.
He's got a way of hitting the ball into unusual places, hasn't he, Daniel Lamb? He can manoeuvre the ball around in a different way. He's not perhaps going to give you the power of Tim David, but he does it his way, doesn't he?
He has, yeah, and you know, he plays the scoop, and you can see fine leg going back here, which opens another scoring area with mid-wicket coming up. So I wonder if that's an area he might look to take down. I think the mid-wicket's coming just to stop that one, to get David on strike. So Northants will be looking to build some pressure here with a couple of dots.
What a good finish we could be set for. 17 balls left, 23 needed. Lamb, the new batter. Here's Neesham. That's hit nicely down the ground by Lamb. Sanderson comes up to field. Lamb gets a run, and he gets Tim David on strike for the bulk of this 18th over. 22 off 16. Tim David 36 not out, 18 deliveries, 1 4 and 3 sixes.
Yeah, I think these sorts of players are invaluable to have in your side. If you can get us over the line, his innings has been the difference here.
There's 3 fielders behind square, inside the ring on the offside. There's a deep square leg, deep extra cover, deep mid-wicket.
No fine leg.
Here's Neesham to David, and the ball is deflecting, I think, off his thigh pad. Yeah, leg by. Picked up by the keeper, so they got through for a leg by.
It's a brave ball, that, with no fine leg, Scott. If he got any little bat on that, it's going down for 4.
which is where Tim David tried to manoeuvre it. There's a fine leg in place now with Lamb on strike.
Currently got 6 men out here. Mid wicket's coming up.
Good spot. A deep square, fine leg, deep point. There's Neesham over the wicket and bowls. Short ball, which Lamb swats down the ground. Up comes long on, Sanderson. Lamb gets 1. He moves on to 2, 134 for 6. 20 off 14 deliveries.
Just a boundary in the next couple of balls just to ease the nerves a little.
Again, the field as it was last time, so there's no fine leg, there's a deep square, deep mid wicket, and then there's 3 inside the circle on the offside, all behind square.
He's either taking all the pace right off this or it's going to be really wide outside off stump.
Neesham to David, wide outside off stump, swing and a miss. Through to the keeper, no run, dot ball. 20 off 13. Looking pretty cool and calm, isn't he, Tim David? Unflustered.
He knows he only needs 1 ball. He needs the bowler to miss by a little.
Will he get a fraction wrong on this occasion?
Is he going pace on or pace off here, Scott? I imagine it'll be wide again.
Let's see, here we go. In and bowling, it's a low full toss which he hits down the ground. I'm going to come back and run 2 to complete the 18th over. Good bowling from Jimmy Neesham. 3 overs, 2 for 19. Got a terrific finish here, haven't we? I actually can't call it at the minute. What about you? 18 off 12.
Me either. Me either. You know, we said it takes 1 over, but you've got this over now to the long side, which make those boundaries hard to come by. You know, we mentioned earlier about finishing with the short leg side in the last over. I wonder how much that comes into it in the last over.
Well, the penultimate over is going to be bowled by Ben Sanderson. Final over is going to be bowled by Jimmy Neesham, isn't it? You would think. Got Lamb on strike. Lancashire need 18 to win from 12 deliveries. 17 runs will see the game finish in a tie.
I'd imagine he's going to go into the wicket almost every ball here. Slow balls have held in the wicket and he's only got to miss his Yorker by a little, especially with mid-off up in the ring.
Fine leg drops back. Here is Sanderson in. Little nudge down the pitch and then Lamb, he's sent back by Tim David. Sanderson leaping for it. He's on his stomach as he throws at the stumps and Danny Lamb had to swivel back and get in quickly. Dot ball. 18 off 11. I mean, understandable from Lamb, that, isn't it? You just want to get up. You try and get it wrong, just get David on strike. You want him to face the majority of these 11 deliveries. This is chipped. It'll be safe enough. It'll land just at the edge of the 30-metre circle for 1 run. Lamb moves to 3. 137 for 6. 17 needed. 10 balls left. Keeper going to stand up here. I think he is. Yep. Calls for the helmet. McManus, the keeper for the Steelbacks, standing up. Tim David, who's on strike, towering above him. Sanderson 2, David
2.
The call is for 2. And David says yes. Wasn't picked up cleanly. A little bit of pressure on the fielders, a bit of pressure on everybody. They do come back for a second. 139 for 6, so 15 off 9. 3 balls left of the over. Will Tim David have it in his mind eye as to what he wanted it to be going into the last, or is it just ball by ball situation now?
I think he's taking this ball by ball. You'd love under 10 in the last over, but
this is hit through the offside by David, out towards extra cover for a single.
I wonder if it's Lamb now who takes the risk to try and get a boundary. As you see, Sanderson is rushing back to his mark. They look tight on time.
Cut-off is 23 minutes past.
They'll be all right.
Lamb 3 from 4. Fine leg comes inside the circle. Fine leg's up, third man's up. Here's Sanderson to Lamb, down on one knee.
Get over.
Heaving the ball out through the onside. 6! 6 for Lamb. Big hit. Party stands on the feet. Boundary that Lancashire desperately needed.
Lamb taking the big side on and getting all of that. Big hit.
Takes it to 8 off 7.
That's taken all the pressure off the batters, that shot has. He just needed one. Didn't look like it was going to come from that side, but Lammy's got a hold of one there.
You mentioned getting into a position to hit shots, Daniel Lamb, and he's had a great example of it. He shuffled right across the stumps and heaved it away to the onside. Great invention from Lamb. Sanderson back in, step down the pitch and flicks the ball away. They go hurtling through for 1, and they'll come back for 2. And every run and every boundary cheered by the Lancashire supporters. That's the end of the 19th over. How are the nerves in the dugout? 6 balls left, 6 to win. You said ideally below 10 for the final over, and they've done that and then some.
Yeah, I think you were looking for that one big over, and they've got it from that far side. 12 I think off that. Just what you needed in that moment. A good over, and it's there'll be a lot of nerves this last over.
1 4 8 for 6, live from Emirates Old Trafford. It's the T20 Blast fixture. Lancashire Lightning against the Northamptonshire Steelbacks. We're going into the final over of the match. Big Tim David's on strike. Will he fancy trying to get this done with just one big shot? He's got Jimmy Neesham, who's about to come in from the Brian Statham end, running away from the media centre. 6 off 6. Will win it for Lancashire Lightning. Neesham 2 for 19 from his 3 overs. Here we go. Final over of the evening. Neesham to David. Oh, just pushed away into the offside. It bounces down to the keeper. He sends Daniel Lamb back. Dot ball.
Wonder how much premeditation he had there. If he just looked like playing strong shots, he'd probably hit that into the construction site and the game would have been done.
6 off 5. 41 not out. A dot ball to start the final over. Neesham taking his time. And here he comes with David waiting. David forcing the ball out towards the offside, and they do get through for 1. The first run of the final over. So David moves on to 42. He just looks like a guy that's a little frustrated. I think he quite fancied getting it done himself, but at the minute it's now back over to Danny Lamb. Don't forget, 4 will tie the match. 5 will win it. So again, we've got bowling changes. Fine leg dropping back.
Got mid off up.
Mid off up. Long on, deep mid wicket, deep backward square leg, fine leg, and deep extra cover.
He's hitting this for 6, I reckon.
Lamb waits. It's full, it's wide. It's signalled as a wide, and straight away Jimmy Neesham spun round and looked at the umpire. I think he feared the worst as soon as he delivered it, and the umpire says that's a wide. 150 for 6, 4.
Looked like a bluff from Jimmy Neesham there as well. Had all the men out on the leg side and went wide Yorker.
4 off 4. Wide signal by the umpire. He looked around straight away, didn't he, Jimmy Neesham? He said, oh no, is it not going to be, is it? And there he was, the umpire stretching his arms out. Lamb being made to wait. Cobb creeps in. Short extra cover. Point gets a little bit tighter as well. 4 from 4. Here's Neesham. Lamb waits. Lamb sends it out towards the leg side. He's caught. White takes the catch. Lamb departs for 11. It's 4 to win off 3 deliveries now. 150 on the board, but Lamb departs.
He does, but I think the main thing is they managed to cross there. We were talking about the rule earlier, and having Tim David on strike now is crucial. Making the most before that rule change comes in.
So 4 needed off 3 deliveries. Neesham picks up his 3rd wicket. Lamb caught in the deep by Graham White. He's had a good night with the ball and he's had a good night in the field. He's not dropped a thing. Luke Wood, the new batter. 150 for 7.
Luke Wood's on strike there. Pretty sure they crossed.
Wood will be on strike. I'm pretty sure that rule doesn't come until October. So Neesham, 3 for 21. What have we got here? Leg side, deep backward square leg, deep mid wicket, long on, deep extra cover. 3 balls left of the match, 4 to win. There's Neesham in the balls to Wood. Oh, that's chipped down towards short third. And he's through for 1. 3 off 2 for Lancashire Lightning. 151 for 7, but now David is on strike. Pace off from the bowler for that delivery to Luke Wood. What are you sending down now if you're at the top of the mark and you've got David in this position?
Good question. Good question. I mean, he's had a bit of success with his wide Yorker, and I think if he nails one, you'd like to think it's either a dot or 1, which puts Luke Wood back on strike for the last ball. So if I'm bowling, I'm going wide Yorker.
Okay, 3 to win, 2 balls left. David waits. Here's Neesham in, bowls. Oh, that's a... Boy's gone for... Boy's giving it out, LBW. Half the crowd are celebrating, thinking it's gone down to the boundary. He's actually been given out, LBW. Neesham teared away in celebration, utterly convinced he was out. The ball deflected down past the keeper. Half the crowd are celebrating, thinking that's the winning run. And then they quickly realise the umpire puts his finger up and Tim David's gone, LBW. And Lancashire need 3 to win off the final ball.
Looked outside the line for me there, Scott. I wonder if the celebration has done it. It was tight either way.
He was off, wasn't he? Jimmy Neesham giving it plenty. Little glance over the shoulder, up went the finger. Now Tom Hartley has come out. I have to check through the scorecards, but I'm pretty certain that every delivery he's faced so far in the blast this year, he's hit for 4. His first delivery.
That's all we need right now, then.
That'll do.
One job.
3 off the final ball. Hartley on strike. What a terrific game of T20 cricket, going down to the very last delivery.
Neesham's still got his 1 bouncer for the over as well, over shoulder height left.
If they can run 2, they'll tie the match, Lancashire Lightning. If they get 3, they win it. Tom Hartley waits. Here we go. Last ball of the game. It's Jimmy Neesham for the Steelbacks. In and bowls to Hartley.
Wide.
Swing and a miss. Signalled as a wide. And they've got through. It's signalled as a wide by the umpire. They've run 2. They'll have to bowl it again. And Lancashire need 1 to win. Signalled as a wide. They ran through. So 2 to the score. Scores are tied.
Jeez.
Lancashire need 1 to win. From the very last ball. The captain can barely believe it. Dave Villas. Sitting in the dugout. And we've got more drama to end a blast fixture. We had a tied game against Yorkshire in the first group game. Felt like a win for Lancashire that Friday evening. But we're going to see another tie. 1 run will win it for Lancashire Lightning. Everybody's inside the circle now. Luke Wood's on strike. Anything other than a run here will see the game tied. A wicket or a dot ball. Neesham sending down a wide.
Criminal. It's criminal.
He's making Wood wait.
Wicket keeper's coming up, looks like.
I see the helmet's coming out, so the keeper wants to stand up. Boos around Emirates Old Trafford.
Gee, that's the last thing you wanted there, eh? Wide ball. Just land it.
To the delight of the Lancashire supporters, it fizzed down the leg side. So the keeper has got the helmet, so he's going to stand up to the stumps. Watch out for a run out. That's absolutely on the cards. Here we go. One to win. Neesham balls. Oh, it's a full toss. Lancashire have won the game. They've won the game. It's looped away towards backward square leg. The party stands in full flow. Oh, it's a shocking way to end the over for Neesham after such a good start to it. He sends a wide and then a full toss, which has been called as a no ball. Lancashire win the game.
So well, eh? So well until those last two balls.
Who would be a bowler, Saqib Mahmood?
It's not the first time I've said that. And it won't be the last.
Well, a brilliant game of T20 cricket that goes down to the final delivery and then some with the wide, which he had to bowl again. And Jimmy Neesham, a fine player, but made an absolute mess of that final couple of deliveries. And Lancashire Lightning have made it 4 successive wins. They are 5 games unbeaten in this year's blast to start the group campaign. 4 wins on the spin is a fine effort by Lancashire Lightning.
I think from the position they were in at 10 overs as well, to win that game doesn't do the boys justice, I don't think. You don't realise how hard it is to win a game when you're falling behind at Old Trafford, at Emirates Old Trafford, I should say. But yeah, great effort from the boys, and I think they'll be happy with that one.
Tim David wasn't there to see it over the line, but without Tim David, Lancashire don't win the match.
They don't, and I think he was the only one who scored at the rate he did throughout the whole game, and doing it in the fashion he did, and the position that Lancs were in as well is what was the difference, I think. But yeah, you don't chase scores like that often on a wicket like this at Emirates Old Trafford. So yeah, they'll take a lot of confidence from that.
Well, players shaking hands down below. There's a lot of smiles on the Lancashire faces, understandably. It's a brilliant drama, it really is. It's a terrific, another terrific game of blast cricket, which goes down to the final delivery. Steelbacks are wondering how on earth they've probably not won that, that game.
Yeah, Jimmy Neesham will be kicking himself, and it's just one of those, Scott, you feel like you've brought the team back in with the way you've bowled, and then all of a sudden you're the one that's obviously giving it all away as well. So yeah, he'll be distraught.
Dane Villas makes his way up the stairs back towards the dressing room, and he got a big beaming smile on his face. He's seen his team get over the line in a slightly bizarre circumstances to win the match. They've won it by 2 wickets. Won it by 2 wickets with a ball to spare, of course.
Yeah. And Tom Hartley's record of hitting the first ball for 4 is still there, given it was a wide.
I'm pretty sure he has done. He nailed the first one for 4 at Trent Bridge. He did it the other day here as well. But yeah, not required on this occasion. I'm not sure if you're needed outside or not, but you may well have other duties to perform.
Oh, I'll go find out.
Okay.
It's one way to get rid of me.
Not at all. You can stay as long as you like. I just want to get in trouble. Saqib Mahmood with us here on commentary. Great to have Saqib with us. For those viewers on Lancashire TV, a breathless game of T20 cricket. We're heading outside. We're going to head to Hugh, who's somewhere outside.
Thank you to you, Scott, and indeed Saqib and Phoebe, our commentary team on Lancs TV. And will you please welcome, we have Phil Salt alongside me pitch side here. He's only in shorts and T-shirt, so I think the adrenaline has gotten through the chilliness that is descending upon us. That was a breathless finish, Phil.
Yeah, it was a belter. I think Timmy played really well in the middle on what looked like a hard wicket. we knew that we had the worst end of the conditions with them winning the toss and batting first, but no, we played really well to get a result there.
Now, how much of the encouragement were you able to give Tom Hartley as he came out for those final couple of deliveries? Did you say to him, make sure they bowl your wide on the penultimate ball, please? As what turned out to be the penultimate ball, of course.
No, Tommy's done pretty well for us coming in late in those sort of situations. So I'm sure he is very clear and calm and knew exactly what was going on.
And then he had a no ball on the hip to sky away for the winning runs as well. What does that show about the team? Because you mentioned about the fact that you've been batting first and posting a pretty good total and being able to defend that, but that was winning in a different way.
Yeah, as a side, we've spoken about being adaptable. I think that was, one of the main sort of things around our chats before the comp, and I think that's exactly what we've shown tonight on a different wicket to what we usually play on. To play so well and to get a result, having the worst end of the conditions, we're very happy.
Yeah, and winning in a different way, but also winning when it was particularly tight as well. So it not only shows the versatility that you've got in chasing a target, it also shows a little bit of mental toughness as well there.
Yeah, 100%. I can't praise the boys any more than I already have. We played really well, we bowled well, we executed what we wanted to do, and then to finish a game like that, we're all over the moon.
And you must be proud about the efforts that you've made as well at the top of the order and in your first season with Lancashire. How much are you enjoying it?
Yeah, definitely. I'm loving being here. It's a top club. I'm really enjoying my cricket, so long may that continue.
Well, we wish you well for the rest of the competition, and well done today, and send the word up to the rest of them who are doing their song, no doubt. You've missed out on, that they've done a very good job. Thank you very much indeed, Phil.
Cheers, mate. Thanks.
That's Phil Salt, and we're going to bring in Phoebe as well, Phoebe Graham, who's no doubt enjoyed what was an extraordinary finish. Not sure I've seen that too many times. In the women's game earlier on, we had a bowler disqualified for bowling too many of what we ended up seeing on the final delivery here. We also had a wide on the final delivery. We had a potential tie like we had in the Roses clash earlier on in the season. It all managed to happen in just a days of cricket.
I know, what a finish to a game of cricket. We saw everything in that last over, and Jimmy Neesham got Tim David, and we thought that was the point that Lancashire had maybe lost it. But what a fantastic win, and I'm sure the boys are absolutely chuffed to bits with that. And over the line, brilliant.
Yes, over the line and with a ball to spare, because I think the last ball was a no ball as well. So an extraordinary thing that you had a potential last ball 3 times there. Genuinely never seen that before. But we were mentioning with Phil how important it was to be able to win in the circumstances today. And I mean the overall circumstances and the way the toss went, but the particular circumstances at the end there, that does a world of good for a team.
Yeah, definitely, and sometimes it's about getting on that winning streak, and once you can win those games, the similar situation to the Yorkshire game, then it just puts the team in such great stead for the rest of the season, because winning is half the battle.
Yeah, and we should mention Tim David here, who was a little bit frustrated when he was out with just a couple of deliveries to go, but he is in that team. Indeed, he has been bought for this competition as the overseas signing to do just that, and I appreciate the finish was a little short for him personally, but he helped the team get over the line.
Definitely, another brilliant innings from Tim David. I'm sure he was disappointed that he wasn't the one to take the team over the line, but a fantastic signing for Lancashire, and he's really holding that middle order, and his strike rate is incredible. On a wicket that looks difficult to score, he's still hitting sixes in the second tier, so yeah, great player, and help contribute to this win tonight for Lancashire.
When we spoke to him earlier in the season, he said he was disappointed, even though with his knocks that he's had so far, that he hasn't got enough sixes. I think there were only 3 in that innings, but they were absolutely crucial when he got them to get the Lancashire in that second half, just with the momentum that they needed.
Yeah, definitely. And spin was proving hard to bowl. The leg spinners were bowling really well tonight, but Tim David just showed how powerful he is and actually made really critical differences at the most crucial parts of the game.
It's looking like a pretty formidable Lightning side, isn't it? Phoebe, thank you so much. I appreciate the time you spent with us, and I hope you enjoy doing the commentary as well, and it's warmer in there, isn't it?
Great, thank you very much.
That is genuinely the most important thing. It is warmer in there.
Cheers,
it's been a fantastic day's worth of cricket, with Phoebe's team earlier on winning as well in their final game of the Charlotte Edwards Cup, and another victory for the top of the table North Group for the Lancashire Lightning. It has been, as we said earlier on, a breathless, exhilarating, exciting finale. You don't always need 200 plus for an exciting game of T20. We've got 150 and a bit, and we've got a last baller. Well, in the end, it wasn't, but that's a technicality. You're going to have to go into the rule books and find out if it ever happened before. We hope you enjoyed it. We're back soon. It's another win for the Lightning.